Alright. Recording. Okay. Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi semua. Terima kasih kepada semua pelajar yang sudi hadir dan juga pensyarah. Kepada pensyarah dan juga pelajar, selepas sesi pembentangan ini nanti akan ada QR code. Saya ambil attendance untuk pensyarah, ISPER dan juga pelajar. Saya nak tengoklah siapa yang rajin datang, yang sudi datang. Setiap pusat. Kemudian, hari ini kita akan ada 5 pembentang daripada pelajar pusat CODTIS. Terima kasih kepada pelajar yang sudi datang on time. Thank you. Dan terima kasih kepada semua pensyarah yang ada dekat sini face to face penilai. Setiap pelajar ada 15 minit untuk pembentang dan 10 minit untuk question and answer. Kecuali Puan Madhati lah, kita bagi dia 20 minit. Dan kemudian kita akan start dengan Puan Faranas. Boleh? Okay. Puan Faranas, saya share screen. Okay, ni Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, sekejap. Okay, semua sebelum mula okay ke? Semua dapat ke? Optimum background noise simulation. Dapat Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all the examiners, lecturers, presenters and our chairman. Right, so my presentation today is about optimum background noise simulation, enhance the auditory working memory, performance via stochastic resonance, and ephemeral study on secondary and university students. Okay, so my name is Faranas. My supervisor is Associate Prof. Dr. Ahmad Nazim. My co-supervisor is Dr. Nur Alauddin, and he is from Center for Rehabilitation and Special Needs. Right? And myself, I'm from Center for Diagnostic Therapy University Studies. Okay, first of all, I would like to go straight to the theme of this study, which is one of the main the component of my study is about noise. So what is noise? Noise in general is a disturbance. It can be a disturbance in terms of auditory, visual. Okay, so in this context, it is a disturbance in auditory. Okay, but all in all, why we need to study noise? Because it has been postulated and it has been reported that noise with appropriate intensity may help children with difficulty in learning, difficulty in giving attention towards learning, or ADHD, right? So effect of noise to human in effect of noise can be detrimental as been reported many of the researchers, but with a correct amount of intensity, it could have the ability to become a component that help improve the learning and the attention from certain population or the ADHD or a group of students with difficulty in learning. But so far, it has not been found whether it is effective in healthy human or not. Right? Whether it have been something that in giving you a positive or negative outcome for the healthy in developing brain or developed brain. Okay, so so what is low noise and high noise? Low noise is something that we are looking forward to, whether it can help, because some of the studies says that low noise help in learning. High noise is detrimental, of course, and it's not suitable. Okay, so let's move on to the second theme. Okay. So this is the main component in my studies about noise. Why it is an interest in studies? Because in a rural area where students in the school, not in rural, sorry, in urban area where the school is next to the highway or next to the construction site, noise can be a factor that causes the student ability to learn to focus in the class deteriorate. Okay, so but that is the negative effect of noise. But in this study, we try to say that with noise, okay, with the application of noise, it could help in the learning of us of our students in developing and developing. So SR is a phenomenon. A stochastic resonance is a phenomenon in which a behavior of a system, okay, our brain is like a system, in the presence of a background noise, such as a rain sound, okay, all those soothing sounds becomes more sensitive to an external stimulus. External stimulus in this context is speech, okay, at some optimal time of noise intensity. So together with noise, we incorporate SR. There is changes of EWM or auditory working memory in our participant. Right. So the third theme in this study is working memory. So working memory is a temporary, like a RAM in a computer, is a temporary storage for your information. Okay, whether it is a process in our brain that allows us to retrieve information. It allows us to encode, memorize, and then retrieve. Right. Working memory, there are two parts. We have the auditory, okay, which is the parts that has not been extensively discovered or researched or investigated, and the other part, which is has been popularly investigated, is the visual spatial working memory. Okay, it looks on the visual aspect, they memorize it, and they encode, memorize, and they recall. So that is a common study. But in this study, we try to identify what is the significance, how far is this auditory working memory with the effect of noise and SR. Okay, all right. So SR and A, so we try to look at the effect of SR in the auditory working memory. So in auditory working memory, what will happen is instead of having a visual, our participant will have to listen to words, okay, encode, memorize, and then retrieve. Retrieving, they have to spell out what the words have been said to them. Okay, so whether they have that auditory working memory, right? So where are these located? It is in auditory cortex of our brain. Okay, so a general of the main theme of this auditory working memory. Okay, so the fourth theme is that this study will be using fMRI, which is a functional magnetic resonance imaging, right? So for functional, it provides a structure and as well as the functional image data, right? So based on this scan data, we can look at the connectivity, the brain activation, okay, that is provided by the SR, okay, provided by the stimulus, and then we can scan the brain and look at the structure as well as the functional images. So how do we know whether it's functioning or not? It's based on the both contrast. Okay, both contrast, where it come from? It comes from the mesodermal blood brain in our brain. Okay. Okay, the last part of it is why it is the interest to look at children and young adults. It's because in human we have 5 stages of human brain development. Okay, so in this study we are interested to look at the developing, which is age 7 to 13 years old, and developing, which is at the university student or 22 years old. Okay, it is has been reported that children who is developing their brain have wiring and pruning of the gray matter, right? And inclination, they have the inclination to process quick working memory. But in adult, because they are approaching maturity, so their gray matter have somehow become stagnant at that point. So it shows that they are already developed. But what about AWM performance? Is there any difference between this group? Is there any difference if you apply noise and SR? Would there be difference between the developing and the developed brain? And if there are, how about the low capacity working memory and a high capacity in healthy students? Okay, so what's next is what level of noise, how is the SR, the effect of it on these two groups. Okay, so the problem statement is what is the optimal noise level required for SR to occur and the type of background noise that will be induced by SR, and then the auditory working memory, it still remains limited. So this is what we are going to explore. Second part is the understanding about how neural system responded to background noise to induce SR in this context is also still being incomplete. So these are the two problems that we find in this research. Right? So there are 4 questions. Would different noise induce the same stochastic resonance and enhance AWM performance similarly? Right? Is there any similarity or difference between children and young adult brain responses to AWM stimulus and SR phenomenon in the presence of background noise? Right? What are the effects of SR in facilitating the AWM performance between the school children and university students? And would the brain activation and connectivity be able to show difference between the normal and the low AWM? Okay, so this is the study background. Okay, so the aim of this study is to determine the effects of AWM between the children and adult brain by SR and also the causes of difference outcome. Okay. To determine the type of background noise that can best facilitate the SR on the AWM performance. So in these studies, we are going to recruit 50 male university students, and we're going to categorize them into 25 normal AWM and 25 low AWM. Okay? And another group is the 50 male secondary school students. And also we categorize them into 25 normal AWM and 25 low AWM. Okay, so the AWM performance is assessed when participant at best and when performing backward good default tasks under various background sounds level using fMRI. Right? Okay, so this is the general objective, is to investigate the changes in AWM processing between school children and university students, right? Under the presence of different background noise, of different noise level, and to relate these changes to the stochastic phenomenon, right? Okay, so over here, I include the literature reviews with the objective, right? So objective 1 is to determine the level of background noise, because it is a list of literature review has said that students who were exposed to excessive noise were found to have poor long-term and poor reading comprehension and reduced motivations, right? So working memory, which is short-term mental storage,
temporarily can store and manipulate information in mind is also negatively affected by noise, right? And it was in some in other literatures by Sutherland and all, it said that it was observed that the level of neural noise in healthy individuals matched with age is relatively higher than those with ADHD. So therefore, the objective here is for us to determine what is the level of background noise that can, and the difference of the SR phenomenon in facilitating the auditory working memory performance. Objective 2 is to determine the difference in AWM performance and SR phenomenon between the secondary and the university students. So for these two objectives, we are going to use independent tests for the analysis. Objective 3, to determine the type of background noise that can best facilitate the SR on the AWM performance. Okay? And the last objective is to evaluate various effects, similar or different, of SR in facilitating the AWM performance. So in this, we are going to use Christian correlation. Okay, so this is the method. There are inclusion exclusion criteria. My inclusion criteria will be male. Why male? Because they are just easy to get, and more there are more compliance with FMRI is compared to female because of the consequences of FMRI itself, to change clothes, to exclude jewelry, etc., etc. So male will be the best criteria because it's quicken up the process of schema. Malay, right-handed. So for right-handed, we're going to do test, Edinburgh handedness test. Will have a normal hearing, so they will undergo a hearing test. Has completed primary education for the secondary school, completed secondary education for the university students, right? For exclusion, any history of neurological or cognitive disorder will be excluded. Current use of psychoactive medication will be excluded. MRI complications such as any heart implants, eye implants. Claustrophobic, extreme WN capacity, okay, and lastly smoker or also musician background, because it has been reported that musicians have good AWM and they have a better speech as compared to those non-musicians. So how are we going to do it? Through advertisement and WhatsApp for the university students. For the school children, we're going to get the permission from the parents. The university student is preferably living those around Klang Valley because the data collection will be performed in hospital Pakar Kanak-Kanak. Okay. We are going to use 3 Tesla magnetospira. And the functional devices which are in visual systems. Right, so this is the verbal listening test. We will be utilizing Malay version. Yes. It has been validated in Munjir and all, and also been reported in Jamaluddin 2007. So there are 2 parts in MVLT. One is encode, memorize, and retrieve a list of 15 words, and they need to repeat it 5 times. Present with series of 15 words in part E, only once, and then we will categorize them whether they are normal or low. Where normal is 38 over 75. So this is the trials. And this is the proposed experimental paradigm, which is a sparse paradigm. This is the workflow. Okay. And the expected benefit, we hope that you can improve the quality of learning of the student. We recommend that noise level required to enhance the WF performance. And it can be a novel approach to use background noise in assessing individual AWM performance. So all in all, these studies will have 4 different noise, okay, appended in SNR, and while the word are being said or the stimulus are given to the participant, they will have to endure the background noise. So this background noise will have 4 different types, okay, while the stimulus are being presented to them or through audio, right? So in total there will be 120 trials. So estimated 45 minutes per scanning. Right, thank you very much.
Terima kasih kepada Tuan Faranas. Saya buka kepada pemeriksa, Dr. Ahmad, dengan Dr. Izwan dan juga Dr. Ismail dengan boleh tanya soalan ni sebelum kita move pada Puan Mardiati. 10 minit I bagi. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya this is a good study, okay, about AWM. Okay, so saya dah faham lah sikit, okay, berkenaan dengan study. Okay, tapi saya ada beberapa concern yang saya nak tanya. Okay, yang pertama sekali, because you are targeting and developing maturating brain, they not get matured. So 17 to 13 years old, and then but altogether below 20 years old. Okay, so kenapa golongan ini? I mean, why? Okay, contoh katakan kalau you buat degenerative study, you nak kaji yang tua because maybe you know dia punya EVM tu agak lemah because you want to prevent masyarakat supaya they can get accepted in the society, maknanya they can function well. So this is like why I did this study, because I want look Malaysian, because people yang older age, so at certain point of time, so we have to treat them differently because of this. But for this working group, I just wondering why. I mean, like the impact to the society.
So this group is a learning age group. So we have a developing, which is in secondary school students, which they are roughly, if you look at the age group, 13 to 17. So we will have them taking SEM and right? So they are developing. So we need to ensure that the education system applied to the students, apart from that, help those students with a low ability to read, to give speech, or to have a speaking skill, you know. Okay, so that is in secondary school. For university student, it is developed brain. So developed brain, we will need to look at if they have been developed. Okay, before we proceed to the much older adults, right? So we want to look at if at early of developed brain, if we apply this noise and SI, would that have much impact? You can see if there is impact, there will be a usefulness of applying this to the older adults. I believe that is my postulate.
Okay, I think you have to highlight that during your presentation, okay, because or else you do need to repeat, because I believe maybe akan ada soalan macam tu juga lah.
Okay.
And then okay, tadi you ada cakap after you buat testing and then you will know AWM auditory working memory dengan low. Okay, what happen if it is imbalance? Adakah you akan cuba untuk dapatkan balance the number ataupun tak seterusnya dapat sekadar 50 tu, you know, that's it. I just want to ask your opinion.
Doktor, I was thinking, as you buy the time century, I have yet to come up with the answer.
Tapi you punya suggestion yang what you have in mind?
To me, so we propose a 50 per group, 25 low, 25 high. I think one group is need to get 25 and 25 low, otherwise it will be, you know, in terms of statistics. Yeah.
So maknanya nanti akan ada, katakan let's say you dapat 50 orang. So tiba-tiba yang itu adalah 30, yang 20, then you have to reject that fight on the
and repeat again. If their performance is higher in AWM, for example, high IQ, you needs to exclude them also. It's too long.
So maknanya kena ambil lebih lah dari 50 kuasa screening. Okay, itu satu. And then how about the age punya classification? Adakah 10, 13 tahun, 10 orang 14 tahun, 10 orang 15 tahun? Because you know, this development of the brain tu is different per year. Okay, itu satu. And then lagi satu, macam tertarik bila you kata group dia yang young tu adalah 13 to 17, and then next age group is 19 to 22. How about 18?
Itulah ada age 2 years kat situ kan.
Yang 18 tahun macam mana? Dia tak masuk mana-mana tu.
Dia tak masuk mana. Itulah.
Then mana 18 to be excluded lah.
Excluded because kita nak nampak ada gaps.
Ada tak paper ke apa ni search previous why
Kita nak cari apa lagi.
yang ada yang lebih berpengalaman lah.
Adik tak payah adik. Itulah. Because it's like macam 18, 19 kan majority is matriculation by itulah matriculation, so ada university.
Kalau kita, you just ambil tertiary education.
So it can comprise diploma, everything.
Selepas SPM. So then dia akan sama because you know the learning in Malaysia lah konteks, the learning environment is different. Sebab bila dah tertiary tu dia dah tak ada kerja sekolah, maknanya cikgu dah couldn't be bothered you buat ke tak kerja sekolah. Tapi kalau sekolah is still guided, so they have apa orang kata insecurity dari segi bila ada kerja sekolah mesti kena siap. Kalau tidak awak be apa macam public shame cikgu kan, betul tak? Macam dia akan rasa dia nak buat, nanti kena rotan atau so benda tu ada implikasi lah. Tapi kalau dah tertiary education, pensyarah bagi buat kita buat, you know, betul kan? You buat the experience as a lecturer kan. Okay, saya tu punya pandangan tu saya nak tanya you punya on that thing, you punya pendapat pun matters juga in this study. Okay, and then lagi satu, you said musician have better auditory working memory. Ada reference ke ataupun previous study yang
Ada baik ada.
tu kena ada lah nanti.
Nanti saya put in the thank you Dr.
You cannot claim macam-macam. And then okay, boleh share ke yang 5 words? Kata dia akan diberi aruhan 5 perkataan. Itu belum bisa.
Tak decide lagi Dr. But words are familiar with the participant lah, bukan ayat yang susah lah. Dan dia bukan satu pronounce yang dia macam rumah, air, api, bunga, something yang related but not.
Dia bukan kosa kata berulang lah.
Bukan. Dia contoh dia backward ni contohnya Doktor. Ini yang saya lah. Contohnya macam ni lah like I said, okay. Rumah bunga daun siput. Okay, so dia memorize and then dia ni siput daun bunga rumah. So that work. Oh, Elsa. No. Dia macam and secondary. And also noise. We start from 0, 55, up to 60. But we choose 60. For background noise is 60.
Puan Marana tadi dia tak jawab lagi yang punya soalan. Kali imbalance dalam apa ABM normal dengan ABM pula. AWM yang tak normal. Okay, macam mana dengan yang tahun tadi? Katakan dia ada 5 kumpulan tahun iaitu umur 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So you target 5 umur, adakah distribution yang equal which is 10 orang mesti 17 tahun, 10 orang 14 tahun. I just ask you. Saya tak semestinya.
Terima kasih juga lah challenge nak kita tu.
Saya tak share lah, saya tanya soalan. So saya nak tahu.
So each age group 10 kan per,
So yang kamu macam tu.
but itulah kalau tak dapat then we can go back and looking at that particular age lah. For example kalau age tu kita nampak dia memang high perform ni dan lain.
Sebab kalau betul-betul nak bahagian kamu tu, nanti akan jadi macam ni tau. 13 tahun, 10 orang, 5 normal AWM, 5 normal, low AWM. Dan begitu juga dengan 14 tahun. Sebab saya risau benda tu akan menjadi kesukaran untuk mencari. So, adakah itu letak one of the concern? Sebab kalau boleh, dia kena ada satu keputusan yang cepat dan apa langkah dia. Sebab kalau this is very macam susah nak achieve, then we have to think of alternative. And then maybe boleh buat, itulah kena buat satu ujian perlu ke yang buat pembahagian tu equal and so on. Okay,
Selamat pagi. Saya juga ada beberapa cara untuk pendapat dan juga satu bahan. Pertama, saya berapa setuju yang tinggal itu kepada subjek research. Okay. Kedua, test untuk kategorisasi working memory di WMA itu dia ada version yang baru, WMA 2. Which is dia punya age range dia lagi besar dan dia lagi baik. Okay. Sebab yang yang sekarang yang itu 2007. Yang ketiga tadi, soalan dia macam mana nak pastikan yang semasa buat MRI itu noise, dia ada bagi noise kan, bunyi kan, yang diberi itu efek dekat brain dan bukannya diganggu oleh bunyi noise daripada MRI yang di sini. Nak kasih dulu nak kurangkan efek noise MRI itu bisa.
Bila kita guna MRI ni, we are using API sequence. So API sequence as we gradient rapidly changing movement. So that is the vector that causes noise. How to counter that? We are going to include patient with a good headphone. With a good headphone that delivers good audio to the participants, and that's the best that we can. For example, kenapa saya excluded female? Because female will have a different brain activation, AWM, so nak avoid orang kata participants, so fokus pada male side.
Satu je, memang ada study ke pasal yang female brain?
Ada mostly study yang lain tu kita tak buat list kan. Macam Elza dia pakai male saja. Macam ada one study tu dia pakai 18 female saja. So boleh.
Jadi for PhD level mungkin normal. How do you kalau stronger image biomarkers? Alright. Doing some PPM special PPM analysis. So mungkin dia boleh bagi coefficient research dan kalau rajin explore initiative itu yang bagus, split for PhD level lah. So boleh nampak model.
Terima kasih. Saya minta Dr. Ismarul.
Okey, dengar ke? Okey. Okey, tahniah Cik Farahnas, menarik researchnya. Okey, satu saya setuju dengan Dr. Akmal pasal proportion tu kan. Proportion antara umur dengan low and high tu boleh tak buat survey dulu, study dulu prevalence-nya sekarang ni macam mana? Adakah low tu yang tinggi, high tu yang tinggi? mengikut umur. So bila dapat idea tu then okay, kalau katakan low tu memang ramai yang low, okay, then pemilihan masa nak ambil sampel tu boleh ikutlah. Okay, saya tak nampak statistik pun kat sini. Ada? Kita lepas.
Tak ada tu.
Okay, so saya nak tahu setiap objektif spesifik tu apakah statistik yang akan digunakan.
Okay, Doktor. For this, sebab kita akan guna independent test lah, because we have
Objektif pertama apa? Independent test?
Okay, so to determine the level of background noise, so I'm going to use the independent test lah for this. Kita nampak ke slide?
Nampak. Okay, so dua kumpulannya adalah low noise ke and high noise macam tu?
Ada low AWM capacity and high AWM, normal AWM capacity. So the dua group lah di situ.
So okay, so independent variable-nya apa kat sini?
Is the Doktor, apa soalan ni?
Dependent variable.
Dependent variable tu adalah itulah dia punya AWM.
Okay. Right. Second objektif?
Second objektif sama Doktor.
Independent test juga? The difference, so secondary dengan university student. Dia tak ada nak buat two-way ANOVA ke yang nak menggabungkan antara low dengan normal tu menurut umurnya ataupun menurut tahap universiti dengan student tu kan?
Boleh pakai one way ANOVA.
Two-way ANOVA. You combinekan dua kategori. Ada tak dalam objektif ni?
Tak ada betul.
So mungkin bolehlah masukkan di mana-mana.
Alright. And for lastly kita pakai for correlation lah. Nak tengok effect tu tadi. Kita nak guna Pearson assumption je lah Doktor. Correlation.
Guna apa?
Pearson. Correlation or Pearson.
Correlation? Correlation to evaluate the various correlation?
Okay.
To evaluate the various effect. Tak ada pun perkataan to correlate. Kalau correlate kenalah, kalau nak buat correlation buatlah to correlate between apa dan apa kan.
Okay, betul.
Sini macam ada group lah ni, similar or different ni macam dua group.
Kalau ada similar atau different lah, itu on the first objective tadi lah.
So betulkanlah.
Alright.
Okay, itu sahaja.
Yang join online ada nak tanya soalan ke? Saya boleh buka kalau ada yang nak tanya soalan. Saya tahu memang dah terlebih masa. Tapi kalau ada soalan yang boleh membina untuk pelajar, saya alu-alukan. Ada nak tanya boleh chat. Kalau tak boleh chat, okay. Boleh unmute kan? Kalau tak ada saya tak ada Okay. So terima kasih pada Cik Puan Faranas, penyelidik adalah Prof Nazlin. Pemeriksa Prof Ahmad dan Dr. Izwan. Terima kasih, dan juga Dr. Ismail. Sudi ke nak tunggu lagi Dr. Ismail?
Dah sampai ke Dr. Fifi?
Dr. Fifi? Siapa tu? Pelajar memang dah ada. Pemeriksa semua dah ada untuk next pelajar. Sudi tak lagi seorang?
Okey lah, boleh lah.
Okay, alright. Jadi saya persilakan pelajar seterusnya ialah Puan Mardiati, penyelia Prof. Akmal, pemeriksa ialah Dr. Iza dan juga Dr. Mazli Karina. Dan juga kita ada Dr. Ismail juga ya. Terima kasih kepada studi yang semua yang sudah datang. Semua-semua okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi diucapkan kepada semua para hadirin sekalian. Terlebih dahulu saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada penyelia utama saya Puan Mardiati Dr. Akmal Sabaluddin kerana sudi hadir pada hari ini memberi semangat kepada saya dan tidak mudah bagi untuk menghasilkan tajuk pada hari ini, dan juga kepada penyelia utama tidak ketinggalan Dr. Muhammad Khalif bin Abdul Karim. Tajuk hari ini saya terpaksa cepat tapi saya dah minta extra for 20 minutes presentation since I have 5 slides. So I go towards the important slide only lah, alright. So tajuk saya pada hari ini ialah kuantifikasi ciri-ciri radiomix, pengimejan tomografi komputer CT dan adaptasi pembelajaran mesin yang stabil, machine learning dalam memesan kanser paru-paru. Okay, in English, so goes to radiomix features quantification of computed tomography CT imaging and adaptation of stable machine learning in detection of lung cancer. So first, my name is Mardiati binti Muhammad Inos. Student of Doctorate Philosophy in Diagnostic Imaging. Ini adalah isi kandungan yang akan saya bentangkan pada hari ini. Basically standard form. We have pengenalan, masalah kajian, justifikasi kajian, signifikasi kajian, persoalan kajian, objektif, kajian perpustakaan, faedah penyelidikan, hala tuju kajian dan juga rujukan. Okey, mari kita lihat di paparan skrin di hadapan masing-masing. Okey, kita lihat ini adalah statistik berkaitan dengan kanser yang berlaku di Malaysia pada tahun 2018, publication adalah pada tahun 2019. Kita dapat lihat di tangga yang pertama adalah kanser payudara dan yang kedua adalah kanser paru-paru. Tetapi kanser paru-paru adalah kanser yang pertama di kalangan kaum lelaki dan juga kanser payudara adalah yang pertama di kalangan kaum wanita. Okay. Saya ingin menjelaskan kat sini bahawa number of cancer is increasing in Malaysia, especially in lung cancer, and tadi ada statistik juga mengatakan bahawa lung cancer adalah yang pembunuh yang membawa worst death is number 1 lah. Worst death is number 1. Okay. Okay, ini adalah jenis kanser paru-paru, just untuk pengenalan. Sedikit background of the study. Okay, jenis-jenis kanser paru-paru terdapat dua jenis, iaitu non-small cell lung cancer and small cell lung cancer. And non-small cell lung cancer divided into 3, which is adenocarcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and last cell carcinoma. Okay, basically in terms of percentage, about 85% is towards non-small cell lung carcinoma, and about 15% is towards small cell lung carcinoma. Okay, kalau kita lihat di hadapan skrin ini adalah rumusan. I go towards rumusan first so that kita dapat gambaran apa yang saya akan lakukan selepas ini semasa kajian yang akan dijalankan. Saya akan mengikut pilot study. This is pilot study done by Chen et al. In 2020. Mereka telah membuat uji kaji pilot study ini ke atas 69 orang pesakit. Diorang akan mengeluarkan gambar CT scan retrieve the image of CT scan lung window, okay, to differentiate between small cell lung cancer and non-small cell lung cancer by using quantitatively study by taking out the information of radiomix, okay, from the images and quantify it in terms of texture, shape and intensity, and towards that it can differentiate between those two category of lung cancer. Instead, selalunya pesakit akan menjalani chest x-ray first to check for the abnormalities, if having symptom or not.
And then it goes to next is CT scan lah of thorax. It's either CT scan with contrast, CT scan mediastinal window, or CT HRCT. Okay, it goes towards that. And CT thorax with contrast, that's most important. And seterusnya, doktor akan ambil sampel lah, biopsi, okay, and send the sample to the lab. Okay, so that's the common flow of diagnosing lung cancer. While in meantime, for my study, we try to develop some new biomarker using machine learning technique. Okay, using pemesinan lah, or what we call AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, so okay, before we go further, okay, let's look at the screen. Ini sajalah nak kata apa, test. Okay, boleh kita lihat sama-sama di screen. Antara A dengan B, rasanya yang mana yang sangat berkait rapat dengan artificial intelligence? A, siapa pernah main game ni? A, pernah? Okay, saya yakin semua orang pernah main game ni. Okay, dan B adalah right? Okay, okay. So siapa rasa A is artificial intelligence? Tak rasa. Okay, what about B? Is it artificial intelligence? Yes. Okay, most of us will mention that B is actually an auto mode car where the car can drive by itself without using a human touch. Okay, so using the technology lah. But actually, A is also artificial intelligence. Okay, because artificial intelligence has started since 1940s when the computers start to develop. That is AI already, where we humans try to train the computer to become like human brain. Okay, to let the neuron, like saraf-saraf otak berhubung, something like that, about the same. So human try to develop machine towards human brain. Okay, so ini adalah perkataan-perkataan yang sering kali akan berkait rapatlah dengan tajuk saya pada hari ini, which is artificial intelligence, big data, mathematical modeling equation, neural network, deep learning, coding, algorithm, and machine learning, of course. But how does it all related? Okay, basically start with the data mining. Kita menggunakan data informasi yang banyak dan menggunakan artificial intelligence. Tapi apa beza artificial intelligence and machine learning? Artificial intelligence ni, macam saya cakap tadi, it's like a computer. So we give the information to the computer to differentiate or to think like a human brain just now, right? But for machine learning, we let the machine to learn by itself through their experience by giving tests or training. Okay, so actually the better they are lah, because they start to learn by themselves through experience. And neural network and deep learning, it goes deeper and deeper, layer by layer. So the features is more than machine learning. Okay, okay, another picture in front. What is this? Is it a dog or a cat? Oh, some say cat. Nice. Some say a dog. Any idea? Dog. Siti say dog. Amelia? Dog. Okay. See? Human brain. Okay, quite confusing, right? But let's see how the computer can differentiate. They give a very quantitative information such as accuracy percentage like a dog and cat, and they can figure it out. This is actually a dog, not a cat. See? Okay, so more accurate, right? So this is basically what we call neural network. Okay? Okay. So computer can able to number one is segmentize the images, okay, towards the border of the area, and then the machine or algorithm, also we call model, can able to detect whether it is cat or a dog, and they can also localize, classify the things, all right, by using the what we call, this is like a graph, okay, we have like a logistic regression, okay, where we can differentiate whether using the features of nose, big nose or small nose, or the shape of the ears. Okay, so you can differentiate whether it's cat or dog. But the picture just now is quite confusing, true. Okay, so ini just kata apa perbezaan lah antara machine learning dengan deep learning. So basically, the best thing is we try to correlate. Okay, correlate AI and medical imaging. Okay, this is something in trend, we can say. Okay, in this IR 4.0 and this 21st century. So we try to take retrospectively images from the CT scan, okay, and then we try to quantify it using software, and then we'll try to correlate information using AI modeling to improve in diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. So ini adalah introduction still to what we call, just want to show you that this is the process to get the end product. Okay, where the AI model can, whether the picture is benign or malignant, normal or not normal. Basically, sebenarnya radiologist lah akan buat reporting via qualitatively. They can measure, okay, this lesion has is speculated this kind of size, measurement of ruler, something like that. But AI able to quantify each and every pixel of the images very accurately. Okay, but we have to go this flow. We cannot just simply say it's good. No, we have to go with the segmentize the images, extract the features, and we have to choose the features, and also at the end is classifying the images to get the final result. So this is the process. Okay, that you okay, all right. I can go fast, right? So this is okay. Most important is what is my problem is the research problem. Okay, penyakit parah paru-paru sering didiagnose dengan menggunakan machine CT, as I mentioned just now, to differentiate the nodule. And hasil gambaran CT ini, as I mentioned, also radiologists will give a report qualitatively. And actually AI is not to replace radiologists. Okay, just to bear in mind, AI is to help the radiologists in terms of diagnosing the images. Okay, that's the important thing. But and also qualitative data also may cause inter-observer reliability. Akan ada percanggahan, ketidaksamarataan antara laporan antara dua radiologis, for example. It's happening. Okay, and also as I mentioned just now, the cell will be sent to the lab for the biopsy. So that is also some invasive procedure, and we try to avoid it and do so. Okay, so justification is that kadar survival akan jadi lebih tinggi kalau kita diagnose this cancer cell at early stage. And kalau kita dapat mendapat satu penemuan baru untuk menghasilkan biomarker yang tidak invasif, alangkah baiknya. And also this will minimize the output manual by the radiologist in terms of reporting, and also like a guidance lah to the radiologist. And of course, machine will not be sick. It will be available 24 hours. Okay, and the signification of my research is that this new algorithm or model will be able to predict what type of lung cancer. That's the most important. Okay, and first question, okay, adakah ciri-ciri radiomik yang menampilkan penyesuaian kuantifikasi untuk mengesan barang paru-paru yang cukup stabil? Yang most important is stable enough. To give stable means if we give other images, they will give the same result. Okay, for example, we give another images from another center, they will give about the same accuracy. So that is what we call stable enough. Okay, so is it stable enough? Alright. So this is my objective umum untuk mengukur kestabilan ciri-ciri radiomik yang bersesuaian dengan image tomografi komputer bagi mengesan barang paru-paru. Objektif khusus. Okay, as I mentioned just now, dia ada flow dia. So flow yang pertama, we have to extract the features by using first order, urutan pertama, second order, urutan kedua, dan juga higher order of features order, to extract out the features. Okay, number 2 is to compare the radiomic images of CT thorax. Okay, in between SCLC and non-SCLC. Alright, and number 3 is to classify it using automatic machine learning. And number 4 is to number 4 is to validate the things. Okay, for validation process. So we so I have to take twice time of data. Number 1 is for training and testing. Number 4 is for validation. Okay, so for validation, we will take samples from 3 different hospitals. Okay, and we try to correlate it with the lab report and also radiologist report for accuracy. Okay. Okay, this is the figure of the abstract of my literature review, and the most closely related is this pilot study done by Chen 2020. But they still have a limitation, so I put it in the table. Tabulate the literature review accordingly. Okay, and the most close one is number 6, Chen 2020. But they still have some limitation. So the limitation of this research is, I can see it's like a gap. Okay, so they've done a pilot study in only one center, and the sample size is just 69, quite small, and they are not using automated machine segmentation technique. And also they're not correlated with semantic features or what we call radiologist features that the radiologist report. They didn't do like that. Okay, and number 5 is they will also suggest to the next researcher to do a correlation between the segmentation of the nodule and also the background of the lung marking. Okay, so this is my research methodology. Basically, this is my conceptual framework. We have 5 phases. Phase number 1 is to identify the picture from CT scan. Okay, and also these are the things that we add, which is improve the contrast using Clahe. Okay, we take 720 pictures of patient, and another sample is 180 patient. This is from HUKM, and 720 is from the open source images available for trial, for testing, for training. We have to train them, and then for 180 is for testing. Okay, we have to test them. Macam kita didik anak lah, macam first kita train dia, lepas tu kita kena test dia, kita buat ujian dekat dia, and then we have to validate whether they can survive outside or not. Okay, something like that. Okay, alright. So kenapa 720? Kenapa 180? This is because from previous research they used 80-20 ratio lah. 80 towards training and 20 towards testing. Okay. Alright, phase number 2. This is the segmentation part. We have 3 parts. So the previous researcher only do manually. This is the gold standard for segmentation, and also Sapphire Auto, but we try to add the automatic segmentation. And phase number 3 is extraction the features. And then number 4 is analysis using machine learning, automatic machine learning to classify the lesion. And the last phase is for validation, where we try to compare the result with a different center. Okay, am I too fast? I have to give. See, 5 minutes already. Okay, so this is the thing. Retrospectively, from September to November, I have to get the ethic approval from these 3 hospitals, and then I will analyze the data using the software. Okay, another part, I'll also include the normal images as for to reduce the bias and to balance up with the normal and not normal. And this is the sample size calculation where I get 180 subjects. And the inclusion and exclusion criteria. Okay, basically I'm going to use 3D slicer software to segmentize it semi-automatically, and I'm using MATLAB to choose the criteria, the features, and I'm using this what we call very in-trend software, Python, okay, for AI or machine learning, SPSS just to compare if anything that I have to relate and correlate each other, and then last will be I have to put this because this is I have to mention that how many fast or how fast or the speed of the computer that I need to use. Okay, 512 GB SSD. Alright, so this is the analysis part that I have to use very in detail according to the phase. So as I mentioned, I use Flahir, okay, with the 3D slicer software, free, available online. You can try. And to do the segmentation manually by the 2 observer, radiologist or radiotherapist. And then I have to test the ICP, okay, intercorrelation, intra-class correlation, because there must be a difference between the reader. And I use what we call, okay, I think I have explained earlier, right? That's the analysis. Okay, this is the tabulated data demographic based according to the age, gender, and also we include demographic factor which is smoking, because smoking is one of the factors that influence the lung cancer. And they're divided into training and testing in between SCLC and non-SCLC with the mean standard deviation and p-value. Okay, with number of samples, right? In between SCLC and non-SCLC, I go for 50-50, 1-to-1. Okay, so it must be fair according to the previous article lah. And try to correlate with the radiologist report and also the lab report. Okay, and the most important, machine learning able to give the area under the curve information, sensitivity, accuracy, specificity, F1 and ICC. Okay, so this is my Gantt chart for kalau 7 kajian. Okay, I hope I can manage to do all this within 3 years. Inshallah, pray for us. Okay, and the reference. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Okay, terima kasih kepada Pembagian saya kepada Pembagian Dr. Wasi Faina, Dr. Iza, kemudian kita ada Dr. Ismara, Dr. Mungkin silakan Pembagian boleh tanya soalan.
yang saya nak jelas lah. What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Are you doing machine learning or deep learning?
Both.
Both. Are you sure?
Sure.
Machine learning and deep learning. What are the different?
Actually, okay, machine learning is I'm using the for the okay, we can go back to the okay. Okay, essentially this field is actually out of our field in medical imaging. This is something new. I try to explore it by heart actually. Okay, so for the machine learning, this is for the segmentation part. Okay, machine learning. This is machine learning. This is machine learning, and this is also machine learning. Sorry, but for the deep learning, it's actually for the automatic part. Automatic. Yeah, this one. Automatic part. Okay. So they're using the algorithm. They're using algorithm to predict. Okay. Atas ni daripada atas sampai bawah is about machine learning, and this is also towards deep learning using the algorithm, the architecture.
Okay. Machine learning and deep learning.
Okay.
Alright.
KNN dengan
It's not algorithm. It's the part
software.
of pre-processing. Alright, for the first stage, when it's the pre-processing, that involves many histogram. Because there's one type of histogram and pre-processing.
Yep.
It is something start doing segmentation. You want to segment the cancer cell and select. So this is going to show which type of cancer, which type of segmentation you want to do. So actually you choose one, tak kena. Dua sekali.
oh okay.
Alright, of course, in terms of accuracy, the first one is much better.
Yep.
Okay, compared to the spray. That is yang
Ada kata.
spiral.
Ya, betul.
I think most of the data yang saya tengok saya think dia conventional. Alright, so that's the clear.
Balik dah. Bye.
Okay, and the next step is
Segmentation automatic.
your feature, you extract the
Okay.
you extract the feature. Then suppose ada satu step lagi, you select the features. Betul? Yang mana you dapat, yang mana yang you punya. And then baru you go to the machine learning. So you use your features to classify antara and
SCLC,
cancer.
SCLC and non-SCLC.
That will be the output. Ataupun kita panggil sebagai class attribute.
Yep.
Betul?
Betul.
Alright. So that's the machine learning is that part bawah.
Betul.
Alright, so pada sebenarnya ada using machine learning. Because when you deep learning, you are looking at images, you are processing images. Okay, kalau machine learning itu, you ambil the data SQL itu lah, berapa mean dia, berapa median dia, which is numbers, ada variable dalam situ. So that's the difference. If you are looking at deep learning, so you have betul you kena tengok side-side boleh situ dulu, boleh situ. Okay, so ada benda itu you kena clear lah. Apa yang nak buat tu?
Yang DenseNet, AlexNet and UNet is part of deep learning, right?
Yang mana?
DenseNet, segmentation automatic. Seni bina DenseNet, AlexNet and UNet.
Kalau awak nak explore tiga-tiga, memang tak habis.
Oh, okay.
It's better to choose one.
Alright.
People pun tak ada pun buat tiga-tiga. Okay, dia nak buat comparison.
Itu compare.
It's better dah ada orang buat comparison. It's better you just one.
Previous researcher they did a manual and semi-auto to differentiate these two, but they suggest to do automatic segmentation.
Kalau nak buat tiga-tiga kan, then maybe you can explain more about the phase 4. What are you planning to do? What type of algorithm are you?
Python, using Python software,
I think it's a software.
yeah,
Algorithm.
we try to explore it and find a new algorithm.
So kita tahu dah daripada bacaan kan. Ada SPM.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, I use KNN and SPM. Yeah, KNN and SPM. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kita identify the
Yeah. Okay, sure. Okay.
Algorithm.
SPM and KNN.
Tapi adalah okay, your data set. Your data set itu data set.
See this one?
Data set yang berapa dengan This one kan, branded ada kan. Kalau ikut representation, dah ada dua type of cancer. Right? And none dengan cancer cell, right? So dalam none tu, dengan small cancer tu
Ada 3 jenis.
you pastikan you have the same data set. Because kalau you have non-balance, data set akan menyebabkan ada sampling.
Kita buat 50-50. 50 among non-SCLC. Previous adenocarcinoma. So it would be great if we can do other types of another 2 types of cancer. By using from the reference of lab report. From
Your features itself ada different tak ada yang tiga yang non-sub.
we refer to the lab report. Maybe they can give the report that this is non-small cell lung cancer adenocarcinoma for example.
Validation.
Yeah.
Yang masih dia nak buat kata, but you nak buat kata.
Okay, PCIA dia ada beza, dia akan buat satu folder tau, SCLC and non-SCLC. So we can retrieve from there lah. So randomly pick first, so just to differentiate between those two. And in terms of sub ni kita akan validate with HUKM punya images taken from the HUKM with a report. So we refer to only choose is either adenocarcinoma or another 2 types. Is it okay with that? Kau terasa?
Mula
Must be clear lah.
Data is quite a big issue. So there are different techniques how to figure data matters. Macam dia
Okay, thank you.
dari pasal pertama 720 adalah
PCIA.
so yang tu memang komplit lah dengan
Yang tu tak. Itu tak.
so just fokus untuk yang 720 ni
Just to dia memang ada kita in and then kita kena test and then we have to validate to teach the machine. So we have that 720 images will be used for training. Kita akan train dia.
so yang
Validate tu later phase kita akan ambil lagi sekali at the end after 1 year. We take again the sample from I mentioned just now from 3 different centers, HKL, IKM and HUKM. Again to validate whether it's giving the same result or not as what we have trained them for.
so yang train the machine
We train the algorithm, the model.
so macam ni you nak tahu gambar
From PCIA is it? PCIA tu dia memang dah ada folder dah. Kalau SCLC satu folder, non SCLC satu folder. Different. Kat situ dia dah differentiate kan. Dia
segmentation then yang ni untuk training purpose
biasa kena banyak 80-20
so 180 yang
untuk test.
dan yang dia masuk pasal ke pendekatan berbagai pusat apa yang
Itu kita compare inter-center lah, multi-centric punya type of research. So we daripada hospital IKN, Institut Kanser Negara Putrajaya, Hospital Kuala Lumpur and also HUKM again.
adakah parts of the proposal
No, different. Just to validate whether it giving the same result or not. But this one we're going to apply automatic lah because kita tahu already manual and semi-auto is quite tedious lah kan. Kita akan libatkan all the, but of course manual is the gold standard. Tapi ni kita akan dah tahu dah which one is the best. KNN or SBM for example or other things. Okay, so kita akan guna yang tu to implement. Sekejap kita tengok pasal. Okay. Tak. Yang untuk fasa 5 kita akan guna auto. Lebih mudah lah sebenarnya. Auto daripada awal. Sebab manual ni macam gold standard. So we like to reduce bias, like we are just to standby lah macam
nanti the data yang kita untuk test data tu dia takkan go the same process kan. Ada perbezaan proses tak konsisten. We should use the same process because in terms of education, mungkin the differences sikit tapi there will be a differences. Maka saya nanti effect kan. Dia accuracy data actually.
So I think
Jadi cara dengan
the best actually tak sama.
Okay, we decide afterwards. Okay, imaging parameters is one of the things that you have to consider. Betul tak?
From the regulatory report.
Imaging parameters for your data set.
Okay.
Okay, if not mistake, imaging parameters dia ada pesan. Kita you buat you punya segmentation and also your result. So then your data, which is your test data tadi, training data tadi. I'm not sure you have the maybe parameter in the system, and dengan difference dengan data untuk dia test data. So do you think there will be an issue?
Of course, we will stick with the CT thorax with contrast, and of course we have to include those images which is having blurring effect or artifact or motion or whatever. Okay, exclude. Okay, and then we will choose according to the following the inclusive criteria that we have mentioned, and then same goes to the UKM lah. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe we can collect the information lah. We can collect the information.
Test data is from another cohort.
Yep.
The trial data is from another cohort.
Maybe we can include.
training data is another cohort.
So we can discuss it in the discussion, right? We've got some issue over that. But usually for CT scan is using auto, right? Auto KV. Imagine parameters.
Assalamualaikum. Saya ada satu soalan. So saya nak tanya sebab ini berkaitan dengan accuracy. So you did mention that you will measure the sensitivity, specificity and ROC. So boleh explain dengan saya apa perbezaan ROC as compared to sensitivity and specificity dan bagaimana awak nak mengukur ROC dalam study awak?
Okay. This is the best thing about machine learning. Bila kita masuk dalam software, MATLAB or Python itself, so dia akan calculate the information of sensitivity, specificity and accuracy part. Dia akan calculate and give you the information. Just like that. And the higher the accuracy, the better the higher the sensitivity or specificity, the higher the accuracy. And then okay, basically like that lah what I understand.
Maksud saya sebagai seorang logistician, awak bukan automatically extract data daripada maklumat yang telah awak ni. Sebenarnya saya nak tahu awak tahu tak beza sensitivity, specificity dengan ROC. Sebab kalau ikut nama dia adalah benda yang kurang sama je. What make it different that you have to collect all these three kita panggil performance measure. So awak kena jelas benda tu. Awak tak boleh sebab dalam kita dah masuk dalam sistem terus tak. But you must be able to explain okay the sensitivity because bila sensitivity tinggi, specificity rendah, you won't get the accuracy yang sama tinggi. So the ROC must be different. So you kena tahu what actually ROC represent. Okay, bukan sampai dia dapat daripada data tu saja. So please find out because when you writing a paper nanti dia akan nak benda tu digunakan.
Right, thank you. Dr. Ismail, ada nak tanya soalan?
Okay, first of all, tahniah kepada Cik Mardiati. Okay, good, excellent presentation. Okay, Bagus, ada dummy table. Saya yang tak faham ni macam okey ada nampak. Cumanya untuk fasa ke 5 saya tak nampak dummy table ni kan? Tak ada kan?
Kat bawah.
Fasa 5. Ada tak?
Test pengesahan ujian produk. To validate inter-center, multi-centric.
Tapi saya tak nampak dummy table. Kan ada buat dummy table yang ada jadual tadi.
We are using the same table like what we have done in testing and training. So we repeat the same thing in validation part. So
Okey, kalau fasa 5 tu dia ada buat perbandingan kan? Test apa? Test statistiknya?
Actually, we the information of stability dia akan bagi automatically, and the sensitivity and specificity just now dia akan given, and then we will compare in terms of number lah, that number that which one giving higher accuracy. If it's about all the same, means it's quite valid.
Deskriptif je ke? Tak ada statistik buat? Tak ada ujian buat? Boleh buat test kan?
Boleh. Boleh ke? To compare.
Boleh. Kot pula. Okay.
Boleh.
Okay. Boleh. Alright. Sekian carilah.
That's why I mentioned I use SPSS lah. Okay.
Alright. SPSS je testnya banyak. Betul. Alright. Macam mana dengan lab report tu? Lab makmal tu ada buat correlation ke apa ke?
Probably.
Ada ambil lab report kan?
Ambil.
Then macam mana nak?
Objective number 4, kita akan correlate lah dengan, maksudnya features from the lab report. Maybe they mention which type of lung cancer it is. Okay, and then we try to correlate with the result that we found using this machine learning software.
Okay. So tu saya tak nampak juga dia punya correlation ke apa ke. So itu ke yang you buat sensitivity, specificity tu?
Okay, kalau nampak kat sini, yang ni corak ekspresi radiomic with the manual segmentation, kita akan dapat information of intensity, shape and texture, and same to semi-auto, and all information. Actually the data would be so many actually. The software akan bagi banyak sangat information, but also dia akan choose the best features lah to classify it. Dia tak akan ambil semua. Features itself dia akan ada banyak sangat features. And also the texture. Tapi that machine learning will choose the best features. Okay, selected features. So kita akan ambil information daripada radiologist report, this one, and okay, for radiologist report, dia lebih kepada semantic features. And this is the one that is not being explored yet lah, to compare information between machine learning and also semantic features ni, which is we're going to do to compare the features. What's the result? For example, lebih pada macam qualitative information that we receive. So for statistical things, let's share this side.
Okay. Dia kata data banyak kan rich kan, so kena clear nanti macam mana you macam mana nak di summarize, nak dilaporkan semualah statistiknya. Okay. Satu lagi, how persampling rawat mudah kan?
Different sampling.
Mana tu?
Ada kat atas.
Ya, macam mana ambil persampling rawat mudah tu?
Gambar dekat TCIA memang sangat banyak. So randomly we just choose maybe 1 to 5, we take number 5, and then again another 5, and another 5, and that. Using randomly, kita tak choose unless ada exclusion criteria lah, so we exclude.
Rawat mudah ke systematic random sampling ke?
Random sampling.
Simple. So simple ni dia ada cara dia kan, suka ada detail lah. Persampling rawat mudah menggunakan jadual rawat Fisher-nya number, cabutan bertuah ke, so kena detail nantilah dalam proposal Okay, itu sahaja. Okay, good luck.
Terima kasih pada tak ada soalan dah ya, saya tengok. Okey, dekat chat tak ada. Saya tahu Prof Kamil dia nak kejar masa. Okey. So, terima kasih kepada Prof Mariati. Nanti slide tu make sure tak ada typo. Okey. Lepas tu terima kasih kepada supervisor Prof Akmal, Dr. Iza dengan Dr. Mazli Farina dan juga Dr. Ismarul. Terima kasih sebab sudi walaupun dalam sabbatical.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Boleh bye dah kan?
Tak nak boleh?
Boleh kan?
Boleh.
Okay, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Okay, seterusnya saya menjemput pelajar Fifi, supervisor Prof Dayang. Penilai ialah Prof Kamil dah ada kat sini, Prof Ida saya nampak. Okey, Prof Ida berada di Sabah tapi dia online.
Ya.
Ya betul.
Ada.
Terima kasih Prof sebab sudi join. Okey, so saya sekarang tengah cari Fifi punya. Oh betul. Okey. Sebentar. Saya kena share screen. Fifi. Okey.
Welcome and a very good morning to all respected lecturers and my fellow friends. So my name is Fariza Biazmi and I'm going to present about visibility and nuclear and proteomics result of the reflection from Canary or the pyramid extract for its therapeutic effect as an anti-malaria agent. So for introduction, as a Plasmodium classifier started to show resistance to many anti-malaria medicine, WHO has come up with resolution in order to protect the efficacy of the artemisinin-based combination therapy or SB as a current first and second line treatment, which call for the progressive removal of the oral artemisinin-based water therapies from the market according to WHO in 2017 and 2018. Thus come this Canary Odontovirus or DABI. So it has been tested before previously during my studies in masters. So actually, Canary Odontovirus has been consumed by the local community, the fruits itself, because the nutritional value is related to the longevity effects, and it can found abundantly in Sarawak from October to December. So actually, there's a few papers studies on the Canary Odontovirus already, such as the anti-cancer and antioxidant activity of the fruit crops that have cholesterol lowering effect, and the existence of the total phenolics and extractable condensed tannins in the leaf, twigs, and the stem bark. So during my study on the anti-malaria effect, using the three types of extract, methanol, acetone, and lactose, and during that, the methanol showed that the IC50 level is very effective, which is very lower than 5 microgram per mil is as according to the based on the anti-plasmodial activity, which is very effective. And also there's I'm testing it on PLDH and also cytokine, so it's effective on the enzyme and also on the TNE. So these are the results. Among the phytochemical content, there are flavonoid, tannin, alkaloid, flavonoid, and phenolic compounds. So I'm only using the flavonoid-rich fraction from this double leaf because there's a research showed that 9 out of 11 terpenes they are very active against the Plasmodium with all their IC50 below 1 microgram per mil. And the vinose terpenes with interesting anti-plasmodial properties were purified from the roots of Senecia madagascariensis, a shrub found in East Africa whose roots are used in treatment of malaria, fever, and monorrhagia, specifically in Tanzania. So basically, actually, we aim to develop not only as an anti-malaria but also as anti-parasitic. So the problem statement here is to find the proper mechanism of action of the flavonoid fraction of the Canary Odontovirus leaf extract with the several aspects needed, which is to test on the apoptotic effect, enzymatic effect, DNA analysis, and also the biochemical properties of the and to find the maximum potential of the TRF and use it not only as antiviral but also probably antiparasitic, such as antihistamine that are promising agent to treat inflammation and autoimmune disorder. And also, it's also crucial to study either the extract are safe to be consumed by all ages and people. For example, chloroquine that can be prescribed to adults and children of all ages, and safe for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Thus, the animal study are needed to study the toxicity effect of this extract that is to be developed. So the research question here is, what is the effect of the terminal refraction of the canary or the tuberculin root extract has on the parasite membrane, DNA, and biologically on Plasmodium species? So the research hypothesis is that terminal refraction of canarium or the tuberculin root extract can be used as an alternative to commercial antiviral. So the significance of the study is that terpenoids are usually contained in several parts of plants with most promising antimalarial properties that were displayed in the study done by Amwa in 2013. For example, artemisinin itself is derived from the Artemisia anoa seeds and the subclass of Cisquiterpines termites. And there is also a study of the terpenoid-rich fraction of Monopica caratia on the alpha-glucosidase activity, where it showed that terpenoid-rich extract inhibited the alpha-glucosidase and thus reducing the hyperglycemia. So to determine how the TRF of canary or the tuberculin extract, we need to investigate the mechanism of action of these plants against the Plasmodium species, because some of the commercial drugs act on more than one target site, and how it acts on Plasmodium species, and to observe its action on different stages of Plasmodium lifespan, and also its toxicity towards the kidney, liver, and brain cell. So these are the commercial drug now used, which is a quinoline-based antimalarial compound. For example, chloroquine, hydrochloroquine, quinine, methylquine, and quinapril. Now, if you can see, is I also listed the mechanism of action of each drug. For example, the chloroquine will inhibit the degradation of the heme by glutathione, accumulate in the acidic lysosomal cell and disrupting the autophagy. And for hydrochloroquine, its act has similar antiviral activity as chloroquine, but usually it is used because it has lower associated risk of ocular toxicity. So usually they are using the hydrochloroquine compared to chloroquine itself when they are applied to the severe malaria patient. And quinine will interfere with the parasite ability to digest hemoglobin and inhibit the spontaneous formation of the beta-hemoglobin. Methylquine inhibit the parasite photosynthesis, and quinapril will bind to the DNA in vitro by intercalation between the adjacent base pair, inhibiting transcription and translation to RNA. So these are for artemisinin and also artemisinin. So actually, there's a lot of people are studying on the mechanism of action of artemisinin because it's still ongoing also. So there, some of it can cause parasite membrane damage, while inhibit the P-falciparum translationally controlled tuber protein homolog. For artemisinin, it will metabolize to the active PHP. So the main objective here is to identify the mechanism pathway on how Plasmodium are killed by the terpenoid retraction of canarium or the tuberculin extract. So my specific objective are to measure the IC50 reading as it acts on the Plasmodium falciparum cell line, to inspect how the leaf extract inhibit P-falciparum strain on each different stages of Plasmodium, to explore the apoptotic effects, to examine the effect on protein membrane or DNA linkage, to measure the LD50 effect on mice, and also to evaluate the toxicity effect toward brain, liver, and kidney cell. So my methodology actually divided into two. There are two phases, in vitro and in vivo phase. So my in vitro phase start with the Plasmodium cell culture. And then I'm going to test on the apoptosis effect. So I'm using the MTT assay, which is a calorimetry assay. Okay, and then I'm using sorry. So actually there are for apoptotic there are two: microscopy, which is skin blood film, and also MTT assay. So and then for parasite membrane, there are several. So first, I'm going to analyze the cell lysate by the Western protein synthesis assay, analysis of the potassium activity by lipid gel electrophoresis, and also measurement of the GFT fluorescence using the flow cytometry. So why I'm using both cell lysate and also potassium, the analysis of potassium is because to identify the number of potential target, whether it's including the potassium itself or the ubiquitinating enzyme that fits the protein to it. And then after the parasite membrane phase, I'm going to move to DNA analysis, format assay, intracellular reactive oxygen species, and also glutathione assay. Because usually in malaria patient, there is a high production of ROS, and the glutathione play an important role in the detoxifying the ROS and oxidative stress in parasites. So basically, the glutathione plays a protect against any oxidative image to the cell. And lastly, I'm going to see the electron microscopy observation on the parasite. So the statistical analysis that all experiments are performed in triplicates. I'm using graph-pack wisdom software, and the statistical significance of treatment are compared to untreated sample. Or I'm using the control positive sample, I'm using the quinine hydrochloride, and for untreated, just giving PBS. So p-value are set at below 0.05. So for phase 2, I'm using a mice, INCR stream mice, and it will be intraparasitally administered with p-value. And then the treatment will start 3 hours after the mice has been inoculated with parasite on day 1, continue daily for 4 days. And then for each extract, so there are 7 groups. So one control group positive, one negative, and the other are on the extract itself. So the dose are increasingly given, meaning so there are 100 milligram per kilogram, 200, 200, and 400. So they are at daily oral dose. And then for positive control, I'm using 10 milligram per kilogram per day orally also. And then I'm going to monitor for the survival rate for 28 days post infusion. And on day 5, GINSA safety vaccines are taken to see the parasitemia and percentage inhibition level. And then for lethal dose, I'm going to administer the TRFE on the non-infected mice. For 5 mice in each group fasted overnight. This also administered gradually, meaning from 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So the mice are observed for indicators of toxicity for 4 hours and followed for 24 hours or 14 days. And the lethal dose is done between 27 to 2 hours and 14 days. So the next step, I'm going to see the PCV, the flex cell volume, before infection and on day 4 of the infection, and biochemistry profiling. For biochemistry, the lipid profile and liver function test, and histology study. I'm going to take the liver, brain, and kidney. That's all. Thank you.
Terima kasih kepada Puan Syafa sebab sudah hadir. Saya buka kepada pemeriksa untuk bertanya soalan Prof. Amir dan Prof. Amir dulu, lepas tu Prof. Ida, lepas tu Dr. Fiti.
Right, okay, congratulations. Alright. Boleh.
Nampak kan semua orang Prof. Amir? Oh.
Okay, congratulations, Vicky. So, actually, when you want to do this study mechanism, you want to study the mechanism of this PRN. So, in the first place, this plant extract must really have shown a very good, what we call, anti-malarial effect. So, how good it is actually? How really good it is?
Because previously, we are only using the crude extract. Jadi kita tak bahagikan kepada ada alkohol. Tapi dari situ retinol, ester dan ekos. Retinol yang paling menunjukkan kesan. Tapi disebabkan kita nak terpenak sahaja, jadi saya jumpa hexane untuk extract lebih terpenak.
Okay, so kalau kita nak kata dia betul-betul good, excellent sebagainya, apa measurement yang kita nak katakan dia memang betul-betul bagus sehingga kita nak study dia punya mekanisme macam mana?
Kita akan start dulu dengan yang for plasmodium culture ni kita akan test dulu dengan kita tak dua CDP terpenuh.
Okay, so in your previous study tu, what did you get for that?
Yang previous tadi macam saya cakap dulu, dia cuma just maternal, ester and posture, tapi kita tak spesifik.
Tak spesifik lah. Tapi at least for this plant extract maknanya did you compare with the control something misalnya you compare ni apa?
Masa yang first, previous tadi I compare dengan chloroquine. Dan dia lagi rendah dibandingkan chloroquine yang hidup.
So the IC50 is lower than it. That's why I want to hear lah. Sebab kita we want to go and study the mechanism dan kita tak tahu sebenarnya how very good it is. Okay. So the last time that you tested on what? Which species of plasmodium you tested?
Before kita guna plasmodium bergai.
Bergai lah. Okay. So now you're going to test on plasmodium falciparum.
Yes.
Maybe dia mungkin ada perbezaan sebab itu lain spesies atau whatever, it's okay lah. So now from this extract ini ada 6 types of phytochemical content, and actually what make you choose the terpenol one? What make you? How do you know that the others are not as good as terpenol?
Sebab based on my reading, sebab most yang antibiotic ada terpenat, dia mesti ada terpenat. Dia ada yang lain, dia ada juga alkaloid yang saya baca, tapi dia mesti ada terpenat juga. Bahan sebagai anti-malaria.
Okay, so you choose ni sebab dia ada 6 di sini yang tengok. Semua pun ada tannin pun banyak, alkaloid pun ada banyak di sini. Phenolic pun ada, plus dia. Tapi kita choose terpenat just plus satu saja lah. Itu yang menyebabkan saya nak tanya kenapa benda tu yang terpilih.
Sebab sebenarnya masa nak kajian sebelum ni yang acetone, methanol and ekos dia tak menghasilkan banyak terpenat.
Okay.
That's why kita gunakan extract solvent lain iaitu hexane untuk hasilkan terpenat.
Kebanyakan agent anti-malaria, most of them, for example, katalah kita ambil contoh artemisinin, semua pun from plant kan. So dia ambil daripada mana? So from this, dia pun mesti ada benda ni. So dia ambil daripada mana?
Artemisinin, apa yang saya ada terpenat. Itu yang saya ingat.
So maknanya, misalnya quinine pun also from plant kan. So kalau quinine apa? Is it alkaloid ke? Dia mana satu yang dipilih? You find out this thing. The reason is why sebab dia ada 6 di sini. So bila pilih satu tu, jadi sangat kepada saya nak tahu sebabnya itu pilih. Sebab kalau kita salah pilih takut dia tak ada kesan. Cuma kalau you punya reason tadi macam saya kata tadi, okay, from your reading misalnya various plant products, katalah misalnya artemisinin, quinine, yes, they choose the phenol. Jadi maknanya itu menguatkan lagi you punya mengapa you choose the one. Menguatkan lagi. Itu contoh macam itulah. Kenapa you pilih itu pasal yang lain produk, plant produk tu lah, extract tu dipilih yang terpinol. Kalau macam tu okey lah. That means okey lah, yang mana you try to do that one. Okay. So when you test this one, the in vitro one, you will test on plasmodium falciparum. Dia ada strain B apa tu? Okay, 37. That B37 tu is it chloroquine sensitive or chloroquine resistant? In the first place, where you going to get this thing? Ambil daripada mana? UKM lah. So you tahu tak itu chloroquine sensitif atau chloroquine resistant. Saya tahu ada beberapa strain yang kita ada di Malaysia ni lah. Dulu my previous student pun guna strain daripada IMR. Dia ada dua, tapi saya dah lupa lah nombor-nombor dia. Tapi dia ada yang chloroquine sensitive dan ada chloroquine resistant. So you need to know lah, bila you buat macam ni, you need to know. Yang mana satu actually. Yang mana satu. Okay, so if you were to test dia punya ICPT nanti, for this plasmodium, berapa replicate you nak buat? So in order for you to really say it is good, maybe you want to take average kan, sebagainya. Berapa replicate you buat?
Untuk each test.
For this at least for the ICPT lah, peluangnya.
Usually duplicate untuk setiap extract. Ini kalau 100
You buat this data.
duplicate.
So and using compare with what?
About screening chemical.
Screening. Okay. Kita tak boleh compare dengan artis ni, tak boleh compare. Tak boleh compare dengan ini. Tak boleh compare dengan ini.
Sebenarnya kita ikut availability drug. So artificial dah resistant.
Artificial resistant?
No, I mean most ni dah resistant. So kita try.
Sekarang kayaknya kalau ikut yang baru ni, artificial ni jauh lebih baru daripada yang lain. Ini semua itu lagi lama tu. Macam kalau kita di Malaysia chloroquine yang paling banyak sekali resistant. Chloroquine banyak. Dia artificial, I'm not very sure. Jadi kita ada guna tidak di Kementerian Kesihatan juga. I'm not very sure. Tapi itu biasanya reserve for very severe malaria lah. So you find out what is thing. So you're going to use quinine atau chloroquine for your control. Okay. Can you tell about this benda ni mean survival time tadi, definition of mean survival time? Maksudnya macam mana?
It is.
Ada dia. The in vivo tu, in vivo. Okay. Itu apa?
Kita akan tengok.
Sebenarnya apa tu?
Kita akan also for 1 hour.
Okay.
Continuously and 4 hour intermittent and 24 hour.
So kita tengok apa?
Dia punya behavior juga, post behavior and mortality dan juga acute toxicity.
Semua microscopic lah. Okay. Kemudian has anyone done similar study on the mechanism that what we do on the same set sama ada di Malaysia atau luar negara, ada tak?
Situasi untuk
Malaria ni belum. Mana dia mekanisme, study of mechanism tak ada Okay, alright.
Prof. Ida dipersilakan. Prof. Ida. Prof. Ida.
Hi. Sorry. Just now I don't know where to mute using my handphone. Anyway, right. So Fifi, can you hear me loud and clear?
yes, sorry.
All right. Because well, I'm quite in the remote area, I think. So your whatever question Prof Kamil tadi I might miss a little bit. But I hope you don't mind if I ask the same question for you, because I think I have a bit redundant with whatever Prof Kamil is asking. Okay, first of all, could you share with me your slides on the justification of this study? Because I tak ada you punya hard copy kan, nak baca you punya ni. As for now, can you just share with me your justification of the study?
Maksudnya kita nak study.
Come again?
Ni doktor.
Okay, significant of the study. Okay, before this. And before this. Okay. All right. Okay. Now. The thing is, my question is, when we want to explore a new thing, a new drugs, a new potential drug to be used for certain diseases, meaning that we might have problem with the current treatment. Do you know what is the treatment that they are using right now, the WHO recommendation?
I think the etovaquine, doxycycline, pharmacine, and terfenol.
Okay, because I quickly browsed just now, WHO is not using those things. WHO is proposing something else. What is that?
The artemisinin recombination therapy.
Yes, all right, and I think it combines with artesunate as well, right? No?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, okay. And do you think that we have problem with it right now at the moment in Africa particularly?
Yeah, yes, in Africa.
Okay, can you explain and describe what is the problem?
Sorry, doctor, I didn't note on that.
Okay. I think when we want to explore new things, we must have solid reason why we want to do this. Not just because you're excited to find new things in the drug. Yes, that is also to justify. But at the same time, we have to. I don't see from your presentation that you clearly define enough why we need another drug for malaria. Okay, so I think that is one big chunk missing from this. I know previously a few of the students has done the project, but that does not justify why you want to know this. Okay, you want to know the pathway. You want to determine what is the pathway. Yeah, I think. Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So you are targeting this to become what? To become the drug
anti-malaria drug.
Okay, anti-malaria. Do you realize that anti-malaria drugs is actually working at different stages?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so this anti-malaria works on what stage do you presume, or from the previous study?
On Schizon and young propozoid.
Have you done any on the gametocyte form, or even at the beside sporozoid, anti-sporozoid?
Actually, I concentrate on three stages: the young propozoid, mature propozoid, and Schizon. But it shows more on young propozoid and Schizon stages.
Okay, so it's proven that this is anti-trophozoite rather than anti-schizon or anti-gametocyte.
Yes.
Are you saying that way?
Yes.
Okay. So because I saw that you are putting that to see whether they are working at different stages, but your methodology just concentrate as on the trophozoite.
Oh, okay.
Betul.
No, actually I ada ikut for the synchronization process.
Okay, so I think perhaps you need to clarify that in your proposal more, okay? Because not to confuse people, because
Okay.
I thought that you are targeting at every different stages, while actually you are only targeting only as anti-trophozoite, right?
Yes.
No.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. All right, so with that also, I wonder if you could look back into your control. What is your control for this study, for your positive control?
Quinine hydrochloride.
Can I? All right, so what is your positive control here? Yeah. Oh no, this is how you harvest your trophozoite. Okay, no. All right, negative control, positive control. Okay, right. So, yeah, I wonder why you use quinine. Maybe this I'm not really understanding your question, your answer to Prof. Kamil. Yet I re-asked you again about why you use quinine for your positive control. Fifi?
Ya. Suka kena jawab macam mana tu. Sebab previously pun kita punya quinine.
Fifi, I thought I'll move in you.
Sorry?
Come again?
Oh,
Okay, could you repeat that, please?
Previously also we're using quinine as a control. Positive control.
Okay, remember why I asked you in the beginning, what is WHO recommendation to use?
So use the combination.
And you know that we hardly use quinine right now, yes?
Yes.
Do you know that we hardly use quinine right now?
Yeah.
So why are you still using quinine? I'm so sorry. Why?
Because just previously we are using.
Jangan cakap kata previous study buat macam tu dah you buat.
I'll discuss further with my supervisor.
Because if you want to match, oh yes, please discuss this further with your supervisor, because what usually is our positive control, we will use the gold standard, the current treatment use. Okay, so in malaria right now is the combination and or artesunate. It's the two classes, those two groups only. Do we hardly use any quinine? So I think that is not the right drug to use as your as a positive control. Okay, I think, but last but not least, could you please go back to your objective words? Not this. Okay. Lagi. Okay, here. Okay, your specific objective. Okay, I'm not happy with few of your wording here, especially the word explore. Okay, the word explore is actually, if you want to use for social science study, then I think I can accept that. But if you want to use for scientific study, it's not the best word to use. Okay, to explore, just you want to see, like kalau qualitative study, that is also to explore what are the thinking of the people, of the community, of of a society. But then in apoptotic effects, I don't think you can explain. That is not quantifiable. It's not measurable. Okay, and that, yeah, the same word also for inspect. It's not. Okay, right. So to determine, yes. To examine, to measure, yes. But yeah, to try to find a more suitable word on that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I think I'll see you later when I come back. To see more thoroughly on your proposal. Then, is that all right with you?
Yes, betul.
Okay. I think I have my questions already, Dr. Linda, and the rest of the
Thank
team.
you, Pak Sudi join.
Okay. Tukar tu.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Don't mention that.
Kalau itu semua tak measurable. So dia tak boleh letak under specific objective. Kena letak term yang menggambarkan keboleh ukuran.
Okay, terima kasih Bang Nazim. Dr. Tipi pula.
Boleh tengok you punya statistical analysis. So statistical significant to compare treated dengan untreated. The p-value is p-value. The title is statistical analysis, but you didn't mention what types of analysis that you want to use. You just mention the software and then the significant values. Semua orang tahu p is need to be less than 0.05, and then to compare. So what types of analysis that you want to do? Mesti ANOVA. Why?
So ada 3 jenis extract, 3 jenis control, positive, negative, and extract.
Okay. What types of ANOVA? ANOVA kan banyak, one way ANOVA, two way ANOVA, SPANOVA, ACOVA.
One way.
One way. Sure, one way. So you ada 7 group ya tadi?
7 group.
7 group and
So
then
ada different extract.
different aspect. So you kena tengoklah types of mix ANOVA sebab kita ada banyak kan. And then saya tengok tadi you mention n equal to 35 and then 7 groups kan. So dari mana you dapat n equal to 35?
Oh, jumlah setiap group tu 5,500.
5,500 lah. Based on what?
Yang literature yang saya review, they are using tak banyak, apa mice,
Tak banyak mas lah. So cerita how many literature yang dibaca? Semua mulakan 555 ke?
tak, ada yang
Ke minimum dia 5 ke?
minimum
Yes.
5.
Minimum. So saya rasa you kena tambah yang tu lah types of analysis sebab yang saya perasan student tadi pun lacking on types of analysis. Dia ada table tu tapi jenis analysis tu tak mention tu.
Saya dapat pada floor lain kita pernah ada. Okey. Kalau tak ada, terima kasih pada PC, terima kasih pada Puan Safa. Terima kasih kepada Prof Kamil, Prof Ida, Dr. Tipi. Okey, so seterusnya saya persilakan Miss Emilia. Okey, mau pakai tu kah? Bisa mau pakai ini kan? Oh, sorry, tak betul jelas. Okay. Okay. Kita ada pelajar-pelajar Emilia penyedia online tadi saya nampak Dr. Nariza. Lepas tu kemudian kita ada pemeriksa Dr. Rozi dan juga Dr. Pipi. Silakan.
Terima kasih Dr. Linda. Okey, selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera. Saya Emilia Anak Rejos, Geometric P102453.
pagi ni akan membentangkan saya punya research berkenaan dengan assessment of radiation therapist RTTS, kompetensi at Malaysian Government Hospital. Supervisor saya adalah Dr. Nur Aniza Azmi. Okay, introduction. Cancer is a chronic disease that causes suffering to human around the world lah. Yang ni saya ambil daripada Fujinami 2015. Dan juga according to Global Cancer Statistics 2018, cancer menunjukkan bukan sahaja menyebabkan suffering, tapi death yang tinggi iaitu sebanyak 9 million people lah. Okay, radiotherapy is now recognized as a key element of effective cancer treatment program worldwide, which is research yang dijalankan oleh Gunderson and Pepper 2012. Okay, control production and proper application of radiation offered by a team of trained personnel. So the team include radiation oncologist, medical physician, and radiation technology. So radiation technologies ni ada certain country dia akan menggunakan term radiation technology, tapi dekat Malaysia kita guna radiation therapeutic therapy (RTT). So RTT ni work in a multidisciplinary team in medical and surgical oncologists to coordinate and multidisciplinary approach to cancer management lah. Okay, RTT train professionally untuk memberi servis radioterapi kepada cancer patient. So the role of RTT is to provide good quality service to the patient lah, termasuk macam mana dari segi quality services tu RTT mesti understand and interpreting the treatment prescription yang diberikan oleh oncologist, mesti tahu treatment preparation, treatment delivery and patient management, juga treatment verification, information management, dan juga haruslah responsibility dalam profesional, secara profesional, dan juga mesti mengamalkan radiation protection, health and safety, juga able to critically evaluate practice dari segi dia punya job scope kerja lah. Okay, the role problem statementnya adalah the role of RTT encompass of safe and accurate delivery of the prescription radiation dose. So yang ini memerlukan kompetensi and skill required. Apa yang so far sekarang dekat Malaysia, dekat government hospital belum lagi ada research yang dijalankan berkenaan dengan kompetensi untuk radiografer. So saya buat study ni untuk nak assess kompetensi clinical practices yang dijalankan oleh RTTs dan untuk melihat satisfying cancer patient. Okay, objektif secara generalnya adalah untuk assess RTTs kompetensi clinical practices in satisfying cancer patient. And then specific objektif saya adalah untuk evaluate the level of competency of RTT dalam clinical practice dekat government hospital, untuk determine the level of RTT patient satisfaction survey dekat government hospital. Patient yang akan identify kan level kompetensi untuk nak tengok control lah, control group. So yang ketiga adalah untuk identify significant relationship between competency clinical practice of the RTT and patient satisfaction in the government hospital. Okay, hipotesisnya adalah there is untuk hipotesisnya adalah there is no significant relationship between competencies clinical practices of the RTT and patient satisfaction in the government hospital. Untuk null hypothesis, there is no significant relationship between competencies clinical practices of the RTTs and patient satisfaction in the government hospital. So conceptual framework, sorry saya silap dekat situ patient care tu sepatutnya RTTs in clinical practice. So yang ini konsep support work akan menggunakan kompetensi instrumen yang akan saya berikan kepada artitis, clinical practices dan juga patient cancer lah. So outcome dia adalah kompetensi satisfying patient outcome. Yang ini saya ambil daripada studi yang dibuat diadapt daripada studi from 1997 lah. Okay, research method saya akan menggunakan questionnaire yang diadapt dan diadopt daripada CANMEDS, Canadian Medical Education Direction for Specialists. Tools yang akan digunakan akan diberikan kepada patient dan juga artitis menggunakan Google Form. Saya plan nak guna Google Form dan untuk patient sebab sometimes department radioterapi ni line coverage tak berapa nak elok. Jadi mungkin saya akan guna juga questionnaire yang ni lah, hard copy. Saya akan dapatkan patient punya daripada hard copy questionnaire. So study saya adalah quantitative study. So saya akan analyze data menggunakan SPSS software. So ada dua parts yang saya akan tanya kepada artitis dan juga patient. Dua parts questionnaire lah. Parts A adalah demographic, ada 8 question. So yang ini deskriptif, saya akan gunakan t-test untuk nak tengok, nak analyze lah. And then untuk part B, Likert scale, saya akan guna Likert scale untuk dua questionnaire. So yang ini test yang akan saya gunakan adalah linear regression lah. Nak tengok dia punya significant relationship between artitis dengan survey patient care. Okay, so population and sample size. Population saya akan includekan semua government hospital, which is Hospital Kuala Lumpur, Institut Kanser Negara, Hospital Sultan Ismail Johor Bahru, Hospital Umum Sarawak, Hospital Likas Sabah, dan 3 university hospital iaitu UKM, PPUM dan juga HUSM. Sample size saya menggunakan Rosso. So ada saya gunakan 5% margin. Confidence levels 95%. Population size ni saya tengok patient new case. Sebabnya masa saya ambil data nanti bila saya ambil data, saya akan ke center tersebut untuk tengok patient yang saya boleh random pick lah, saya guna random sampling untuk dapatkan saya punya hasil questionnaire lah. So saya kira new case untuk satu hospital tu lebih kurang sehari dalam tak sampailah dalam 30, sebabnya radioterapi ni dia agak special sikit, mesin pun agak limited. So kita population size tu saya ambil randomly sahaja. Sebab ada banyak hospital yang saya buat nanti, jadi saya harap population size ni cukup lah. Dan respon distribution saya ambil 50%. So sample size saya dapat adalah 218. Yang 218 ni saya akan bahagikan kepada semua hospital yang saya buat tu lah. Bukannya satu hospital dapat 200, saya akan nisbahkan bersama dengan bilangan radiografer dan bilangan mesin treatment lah yang ada. So inclusion criteria adalah artitis yang bekerja dekat government hospital dan juga university hospital, dan patient yang menerima rawatan radioterapi pada tempoh masa saya buat kajian, iaitu yang berumur 18 tahun dan kurang daripada 16 tahun. So yang 18 tahun ke 60 tahun ni saya tak ambil yang baby ke yang bawah 18 tahun, sebabnya questionnaire ni macam mereka perlu ada guidance untuk nak menilai. Jadi bagi saya umur 18 tahun tu dah boleh menilai lah macam mana radiografer tu bekerja. Exclusion kriteria saya adalah RTTs yang annual leave ataupun study leave lah, dan juga patient yang receiving palliative radiotherapy. Yang receiving palliative radiotherapy kita tak bagi patient. So gancat references itu saja. Thank you.
Saya minta Dr. Rosie kemudian Dr. Vicky.
Okay, tanya untuk penggunaan yang bagus tajuk ini. Saya tengok ada perubahan sedikit dengan tajuk. So saya tak aware yang kamu nak declare competencies. So tajuk sebelum ni tak ada kan? Tak ada. Okay. So you just suddenly change ke? You just improve your title?
Kita improve sebabnya bila mula-mula bila kita nak buat yang lama tu, then saya start sebabnya dekat government, mula-mula saya nak buat patient care. Patient care, nak survey patient care, artitis punya macam mana dia memberi patient care. Tapi bila saya nak buat comparison, saya stuck dekat government punya protokol, sebabnya tak ada yang tak ada, sangat limited. Jadi saya tak boleh nak buat comparison antara yang overseas punya dengan Malaysia punya lah. So saya start as student, saya bincang dengan supervisor untuk tukar kepada, still buat artitis juga study group saya, untuk tukar kepada clinical practices competency.
Okay. So kalau kita tengok objektif awak, di skop kita tengok balik lagi awak ni. So sebenarnya saya, okay, untuk yang pertama awak nak evaluate the competencies. While the competencies punya tools or evaluation kita memang tak ada lagi. Problem statement awak kan. So saya tak nampak dekat dalam permintaan awak what kind of criteria, how you do the measurement of the competency. What are the criteria lah? I tak nampak criteria tu. How do you do the measurement?
Sebabnya saya adapt dengan adopt questionnaire daripada CanMax tu tadi. So kriterianya dari segi job scope artitis. Bagaimana pemberian rawatan dilaksanakan dari segi kompetensi dia tu.
So dia akan ada senarai-senarai kriteria.
Akan ada senarai kriteria.
So dia kena masukkan benda tu sangat penting supaya benda tu, kalau kamu cakap kompetensi, what are the criteria that you measure? Itu sangat penting untuk you explain, describe dekat dalam you punya proposal dan presentation lah. Kedua adalah objektif yang kedua. Bila you nak tengok patient satisfactory, again, dia adalah pasal kriteria juga lah. What kind of the criteria of satisfactory yang kamu nak ukur. So, bila cakap pasal satisfactory, dia ada banyak pula bidang-bidang dia. Whether it's on the treatment, whether it's on the management. So, macam mana you nak bagi-bagikan dalam presentation awal, proposal awal, saya tak nampak what are the, how you define, kalau kamu nak kira satisfactory itu, apa kriteria-kriteria yang kamu nak masukkan dan
untuk kriteria ni saya akan masukkan dari segi adakah dia satisfied dengan patient care yang diberikan, adakah dia satisfied dengan time frame yang dijanjikan. Contohnya bila nak start radioterapi, daripada mula dia diagnose and then dia jumpa oncologist and then
kita masuk management.
Ialah management.
So sekarang ni awak nak kaitkan competencies of the activities. The person yang deliver ni, tapi awak masukkan juga management, which means the management which not controlled by the personnel itself. Jadi nak bagikan yang saya tahu. So bila you talk about satisfactory, ada banyak bidang-bidang dia. How you want to choose this criteria of satisfactory based on reflect to the competency of the activities themselves. So kalau kamu cakap kamu nak masukkan bila dia mula, bila dia dapat appointment. Sampai the first day dia sampai, okay, dia boleh ukur satisfactory dia. Tapi it doesn't represent the competency of the RTT. Sebab bukan RTT yang decide how soon the treatment can start.
Memang RTT yang sebab bila dah prescribe dose, memang RTT dah tahu bila akan ni, sebabnya sebab itulah tadi RTT ni dia dalam satu tim untuk nak manage cancer patient. So dekat situ ada radiation oncologist, ada RTTs, ada medical physics. So dekat situ bila ni RTTs memang dah tahu dah tarikh bila patient tu akan memulakan rawatan.
So, sorry tadi sebab what I mean is that bila you dapat, of course this is the teamwork. I know the backlog of hospital kerajaan can be up to 4 weeks to 6 weeks, but not because of the RTTs. Yes, so because of the plan nak kena redo ataupun plan nak kena endorse by the oncologist, things like that. So bila katakan this patient doesn't satisfy dengan tarikh ataupun ini, the thing is, saya tak tahu dari apa nak ukur dalam RTP SSD, but when you mention about the date of tarikh untuk appointment and everything, that tarikh not solely ataupun bukan dikawal oleh RTP sahaja. Itu dah masuk management. So kamu tak bolehlah penalize RTPs untuk kompetensi. Katakan semua orang tak happy dengan date tu. And then does it shows that they are not capable enough, they are not competent enough. Itu yang saya masukkan. So, bila you tengok kriteria, apa yang ukur kompetensi, apa yang kamu tengok untuk satisfaction, it must be represent ataupun reflect apa yang kamu nak ukur tu. Because bila dia masuk ke objektif kamu ketiga, kamu nak kaitkan, nak tengok sama ada diorang ni competent so that increase the satisfaction satisfactory of the patient or not. So kalau kamu ukur salah benda and then kamu nak comparekan, aku feel you will get false positive results. So I'm so sorry I tak nampak dalam your presentation anywhere. What are the criteria for this one and two? I think it's very, very important to really look at this, what kind of the competencies criteria, what is the competence criteria for the satisfactory certification. Okay, then itu boleh discuss balik and then next adalah kamu punya sample. Sorry, you rasa I rasa dulu explain pasal tools, okay? Right, tools. So meaning what you going to do? You just have a simple, okay, do you adapt? You better adapt and adopt. Do you have to do any validity test for this adoption? You have what? Okay. So, benda tu you kena explain lah. Sebab you just jalan, okay, kita adapt, tak ada benda, tak nampak.
Kita akan buat validation lah.
Do you have the apa sequence kamu nak buat? Saya tak nampak flowchart kamu untuk methods, research methods.
Sequence
what you want to have, how do you start? You know, the sequence, the flow. The flow tu tak ada. Okay, tool ask respondent to assign different levels of technical competency. Okay. Kat sini lah, I rasa penting kriteria what kind of the tool tu you kena explain sebab you tak ada lab work, you tak ada apa-apa, you punya strength ataupun you punya core ni sebenarnya lah tools kamu betul, kena betul dan tepat. Kalau kamu salah tool, kamu tak jalankan betul-betul, your result gone. Okay, the selection of the tool is very important. So I'm expecting your presentation more describe and more details on the tools sebenarnya. And that's what I'm expecting. But it's really brief explanation. Alright. Next. Okay, macam tadi you cerita pasal tools untuk kompetensi, tapi tak cerita pasal certificate kan?
Dia sama.
Sama?
Tak, maksudnya tools untuk kompetensi tadi saya guna daripada kinerja ni. So tools untuk Terus untuk RTTs ni saya ambil daripada research yang dijalankan oleh Muraj 2015, which is assessing patient satisfaction in a radiation therapy department lah, using adapt and adopt.
Saya ada again you kena faham cara nak buat validity test untuk that. So benda tu tak awak tak explain side this presentation lah. Nampak macam main langgar je. Okay, adapt and adopt analysis. Macam tu tak nampak pun what you really, because kalau saya tengok briefly it's very short research je. Okay, dia kompetisi, dia compare, but actually the groundwork kamu tu banyak sebenarnya. Bila kamu tak boleh tunjuk benda tu, I can doubt your master level. So benda tu kena spell out. You kena buat validity test, okay apa saya nak buat 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. SPSS semua ni saya bagi validity. Alright. Next. Sorry. Certified RTTs. What do you mean by certified RTTs?
Yang telah qualified bekerja.
Diploma, degree?
Dua-dua.
Dia ambil, sebab saya nak nampak demografi data apa yang kamu nak tengok. You tengok experience?
Yes, saya akan tengok experience.
So macam mana you nak bezakan competencies, diploma, degrees, junior, senior?
Saya buat dia punya questionnaire tu sama je untuk ni. Sebabnya junior senior tu saya tak tengok lah. Cuma saya memang saya akan buat dia punya dari segi qualification. So nanti saya akan, bila saya ni, saya akan huraikan dekat result lah nanti.
Ada tak orang rasa jumlah tahun bekerja akan mengukurkan faktor kompetensi seseorang aktivis?
Yes.
Ini kenapa dia tak nak masuk tu?
Jumlah faktor bekerja.
Faktor bekerja dulu, you kata tadi tak masukkan junior atau senior yang dia tahun dia orang bekerja.
Oh yang itu memang ada dalam. Memang ada.
Berapa tahun semua tu yang kamu lah. Okay.
Pengalaman bekerja dia berapa tahun, and then dia punya qualification.
Maksudnya ada tak kamu akan bezakan antara kompetensi untuk objektif satu kamu bezakan lagi sama ada diploma atau degrees, dia ni atau so, banyak faktor tak kat situ yang menyumbang. It's not only one competency. You talk about RTTs yang ada diploma, the degree, you talk about the competencies of the junior and senior, more experience. Yes, bila you cakap competency is very, I think is very big thing, because you want to judge whether you competence or not competence. So objektif satu kamu tu pun dah sebenarnya banyak benda yang you kena beri sebab kamu tak ada, macam saya tengok exclusion criteria kamu very simple macam ni. So I tak nampak, I thought that you nak PDP saja. Bila you limit the variations, but senang lagi lah untuk kamu compare. Kalau kamu ambil semua junior, senior, kamu tak ada limitation of the country because they look at the inclusion criteria, kamu tak cukup untuk these studies. Second thing, inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria is not like negative of each other. Kalau you dah cakap radical radiotherapy, orang dah tahu itu bukan palliative. So you don't have to repeat dekat bawah tu, patient receiving palliative radiotherapy. Okay, so katakan patient tu radical radiotherapy, so with the radical radiotherapy, apa yang akan limitkan dia untuk jawab soalan ni? For example, dia tak boleh, dia cannot see well, dia ada Parkinson ke, dia tak nak jawab ke. That's the exclusion criteria that you should add. It's not like macam, you know, satu working, satu lagi annual leave. It's not the right exclusion criteria that you should put here lah. Bila kita cakap working, so kita tahu dia tengah working. Bila kita cakap pasal radical radiotherapy, kita tahu dia tengah mendapatkan treatment, it's not palliative. Okay, so you don't have to, the exclusion criteria should be more details lah. Sebab exclusion criteria ni sangat macam negatif daripada yang atas tu. So apa perlawanan dia, you letak exclusion criteria. So I think you should look at that. Okay lah. Right? population, boleh tengok ia ada population. Oh, population. Dalam proposal awak ada flow tu. Yang static number.
Saya tak masuk.
Okay. Population, berapa ramai RTT setiap RTT estimation?
Saya akan identify.
Berapa?
Dalam 300 macam tu dah lah dalam range.
Diploma dan
yang itu diploma dengan degree saya tak adakan lagi.
no, I mean 300 tu diploma dan degree lah.
Yes, yes.
So this cohort ataupun this sample dia akan masuk semua.
Yes, saya akan masuk semua.
Untuk patient berapa ramai?
Untuk patient saya akan ikut kepada tempat unit bekerja aktivis tersebut lah. Di mana unit dia, kalau dekat planning, so saya akan ambil dekat planning berapa, dekat treatment, dekat unit pendidikan sakit.
So sebenarnya sebab saya rasa TV boleh tegur lah sikit kan. Jika kita buat sampling size atau population, you need to know dalam sebulan berapa load klinik tu. It's not about, oh bila saya free nak pergi HUSM, saya jumpa patient ni and then saya ambil banyak. It's not how you do lah. So in proposal, you have to already determine sample size kamu, katakan jumlah kamu punya study ni dalam setahun. Dalam setahun berapa load dia. And then from there sebenarnya kita dapatkan berapa sample size dia. Okay. So nanti what's your plan untuk comparekan between kompetisi akan nampak lagi macam ni nak buat kompetensi dan satisfaction.
Saya kena tengok balik, saya kena discuss balik dengan supervisor saya.
Sebab objektif ketiga awak tu akan convert sebab 1 dan 2 will be descriptive. Third one baru you masukkan analysis. Sebab saya afraid that 1 and 2 tu is very difficult for you to ada relationship. I mean like you nak look at the relation lah. You need to identify betul-betul the tools is very important. And then the selection of the population, saya rasa macam few things lagi lain. Macam one thing kan dia punya flow of methods tu masih tak nampak. And then the tools awak pun tak clear apa kriteria dia. Are you sure you want to include junior senior together? And then last one the tools and then sample population is very important. And then because you nak includekan semua kan, you nak includekan any type of cancer.
Yes.
So you memang kalau macam lymphoma patient lain, kalau brain head and neck lain, bila you datang ke cervical, prostate dia the behavior, satisfaction lain, semua having this. So try to look at the tools, your sample populations, the flow, and kalau dia clear apa yang dia try buat, dah start minta ethics
Baru isi
orang. Alright, I think that's it.
Sebenarnya saya setuju dengan Dr. Rosie sebab to me lah dia punya part yang adapt dengan adopt tu very lucky. Boleh explainkan how you going to do the adapt and adopt.
Okay, dia punya questionnaire yang telah dibuat, ada research daripada research yang sebelum ini memang ada. Overseas. Okay. Canada dari Canada.
Dia punya reliability, validity. What is the value for the reliability and validity? So kalau untuk yang saya nampak lah sebab you nak gunakan tools tu untuk measure the competency. So the tools must be valid, must be reliable. So you kena cari tools yang memang ada value ICC tinggi dengan validity yang tinggi lah. Kalau ICC rendah, you tak boleh ambil. And then sebab you punya tools tu from the overseas kan. Ini satu saja tools yang available ke ada lagi tools yang lain? So far saya jumpa ni. Sebab you kena buat macam systematic review ke, tengok available tools yang measure the competencies and then which one dia yang paling bagus lah. Then baru you boleh decide nak adapt and adopt. Adapt and adopt tu memang you akan guna English ke?
Ya, in English.
So macam mana kalau patient tu tak faham?
Sebab tu saya akan ke center lah untuk ambil hard copy semua.
But it's not about hard copy ataupun soft copy. It's about the
Language.
Yalah, saya akan explain kepada patient. Saya akan collect data.
Macam mana you nak make sure bila you explain to the patient, explanation tu will be same for each patient.
Saya akan buat, kalau macam tu saya kena buat BM dengan BI tu.
Okay, kata kalau you buat BM, you kena buat validation process. And validation process for tools according to WHO punya guidelines agak strict. So maknanya you ada English version, you kena translate to Malay. You kena ada inclusion criteria, siapa yang nak translate. Bila dah translate, you ada Malay version, you kena translate balik kepada English to make sure dia punya translation tu sama. Okay. Masa telah datang validity tu. So dia punya daripada orang yang tadi kan dah translate ke bahasa Melayu, ini nak translate kepada bahasa Inggeris, siapakah orang dia yang nak translate tu? Adakah orang yang ada TESOL, experience 5 tahun? Itu adalah inclusion and exclusion criteria. Dia tak boleh tahu pun orang yang translate kepada English tu tidak boleh tahu the original version. And then lepas you buat tu, you kena buat cognitive interview untuk bahasa Melayu tu, kalau ada valid semua. Dia ada content validation index, kita macam dah valid. You kena testkan dia punya soalan tu pada the actual population yang you nak guna to make sure all the words dia faham. Maknanya dia tak ada, saya tak faham ni, term ni tak sesuai, benda-benda macam tu. Then you kena buat reliability. Reliability pun ada certain tu akan buat factor analysis, nak make sure all the domains tu sesuai dengan kita punya population. So dia banyak proses. That one is the biggest process kalau you nak buat dalam you punya study lah. Sebab kalau you punya tu tak valid, hasil you, results you sia-sia je. Macam tu. So you have to think sama ada you nak buat Malay ke, you nak buat English ke. Kalau English, you need to make sure it's valid, it's reliable. And then macam mana you nak solve the problems for those yang tak faham bahasa Inggeris betul.
Itu sebelum masuk dalam inclusion and exclusion.
Boleh, you boleh discuss dengan you punya supervisors lah. Okay, you can discuss macam mana you punya proses. Sama juga you punya tools yang RPESS tu. Overseas punya. Overseas. So overseas, kalau awak tahu time fiber lah, dia akan tanya kenapa you pilih ni, mesti ada tools lain yang lagi available. So you have to do more reading lah, nak tahu yang mana the best. Kalau adapt, adopt pun still sama macam tadi. Kalau you nak translate bahasa Melayu pun still sama. You boleh search WHO tools translation. Macam tu lah lebih kurang. So dia beritahu macam mana nak buat translation process tu. Sebab kita deal dengan human, patient kan. Itu satu. Macam Dr. Rosie kata tadilah, kalau you ada yang jawab questionnaire tu patient and also RTP kan. So dia punya kena ada inclusion criteria for RTP, kena inclusion criteria pada patient. Separate kan supaya senang orang nampak dan orang tak confuse. So kalau macam tadi RTP tadi nak diploma ke, nak degree ke, 5 years experience ke, sebab bila you ambil sekali dengan 1 year experience, dia akan dapat ada bias lah, nanti mungkin rating dia akan jadi rendah. So you have to think semua tu. You boleh masukkan jadi factor semua tu, tapi dia akan jadi complicated lah. So lebih baik you decide awal-awal. Itulah inclusion dengan exclusion criteria. Saya tak sure, tapi mungkin you boleh buat you punya presentation tu ada fasa. Fasa satu, adopt ke, and then baru you move ke next fasa yang melibatkan you build the questionnaire ke. So nampak flow. So benda tu boleh diletak awal-awal waktu method, you explain to audience, you punya study ni ada beberapa fasa. So orang dah aware, okay student ni ada 3 fasa, 4 fasa, 5 fasa. So setiap fasa, kalau saya lah, kalau setiap fasa tu apa dia punya inclusion dan exclusion criteria. Kalau you buat adapt tadi tu, so what is the inclusion and exclusion criteria for that one? And then macam mana dia punya analysis. And then bila you masuk fasa 2 untuk patient ni, and then apa dia punya inclusion, apa dia punya exclusion, separatekanlah patient dengan yang tu. Dan macam mana you nak kira sample size untuk RTT, macam mana you nak kira sample size untuk patient. 500 tu based on what? So you kena tahu kalau monthly, kalau switch KL biasanya new cases tu berapa. So average tu you boleh dapatkan dalam setahun punya, dia boleh dimasukkan dalam you punya calculation lah. Dan analisis apa yang you nak buat untuk fasa kedua tu. So dia lebih teratur dan tak ada yang pusing. Yang ni macam tiba-tiba je dah habis dah. Itu simple sampai banyak sangat persoalan. Okay. Yang tu, and then cuma itulah saya tak sure lah sama ada kalau lagi bagus you develop your own assessment, you punya own tools and then fokus untuk yang tu je. Kalau sebab yang tu kurang kita tak ada kan, you just nak adopt. Dan adopt tu pun sampai bila, sebab kita pun dah ada kita punya culture, kita punya sendirilah environment. So saya tak sure, mungkin boleh discuss dengan supervisor sebab bila yang ni you akan melibatkan patient. And then macam mana you nak, sebab dalam suasana yang COVID ni, so macam mana you
nak explain seorang-seorang.
Macam mana you nak ke Sabah, you nak ke Sarawak, kalau nak explain dibuat dia hospital tu jadi hospital COVID. Tiba-tiba.
Betul, takut je Sabah sekarang dah naik.
So saya tak sure sama ada better you develop a new tools untuk Malaysian population, assessment competency, ataupun dengan yang ni tapi tambah baik. Saya tak sure.
Okay, tak pernah.
Kalau yang tu macam dia punya steps tu ada step patients tapi mungkin dia boleh ambil Lembah Kelang sahaja, tak perlu sampai Sabah Sarawak. Kalau risau COVID tu, betul lah. Itu yang saya punya cadangan lah. Sebab kalau tu you boleh buat development of the critical competency assessment for RTP ke. So you boleh fokus. Macam Dr. Rosie tadi kata kalau you punya you punya tadi? RTPS kan. RTP itu apa kriteria dia tiba masuk management. So bila you punya develop your own tools, you akan boleh fokus clinical competency saja. Itu cadangan saya lah. Yang itulah kalau boleh buat dia flow tu nampak cantik sikit untuk pasal. Sebab kalau dia campur-campur tu dia dah jadi office.
Saya nak tambah sikit.
Boleh.
Alright, berapa tempoh tapi saya tak nampak sangat catatan office. Berapa tempoh kamu collect data? Saya assume saya boleh collect data dalam 3 bulan. 3 bulan. Okey. Katakan dalam 3 bulan, kamu tahu dia department kita ada rotation kan? Ya. Okey. Kata dia tukar a group of RTT tu akan bertukar. Ada yang tak jumpa patient pun. Katakan. I just imagine pun, you just think kalau ada seorang ni yang sangat tak competent, tapi sebenarnya duduk dekat planning dia tak jumpa patient pun. Ada yang rotation macam tu kan. I know that some hospital dia 3 bulan baru buka. IKM dia very long in a one station. So kamu kena faham the routine, the changes, how this tak competent tapi patient satisfied. So awak ambil kira tak kompetensi tu, sebab ini untuk menjawab soalan kamu nombor 3. Katakan nanti kamu tengok result kamu nombor 3 tu kompetensi tak berkadaran atau tiada kesan atau tiada signifikan dengan satisfactory. So kamu boleh bayangkan ini kira macam awal-awal saya dah beritahu lah, kemungkinan
ada kemungkinan satisfactory of the patient. Dia tak jumpa pun these competence and incompetence activities. Sebab lain-lain hospital dia ada rotation yang berlainan. Ada yang 3 bulan, ada yang 6 bulan, 6 bulan. Kalau dia 6 bulan dekat planning, dia tak jumpa langsung dengan patient. Dia just buat ni je. Ataupun dia jumpa dekat CT saja. Betul kan? So depending juga. So you kena fikirlah all these kemungkinan kalau kamu, because when you talk about relationship, how dissatisfying we bring to like represent the competencies for this group of artists. Sebab kamu buat artists tu, kamu buat sampling juga kan? Kamu bukan ambil semua artists kan? So this sampling ni, just kena fikirlah benda tu kemungkinan patient is better untuk buat artists yang competent. So that's my idea lah. Alright, kena think about it. Alright, overall sebenarnya you are master level. Cuma bila kamu cerita, main langgar je semua.
Tak pandai tak sih.
Tak apa belajar
Thank you, Doktor. Tak ramai dan okeylah, kita kepada yang setia, terima kasih sebab sudi lagi setia, termasuk yang dekat sini. Kita ada lagi seorang, mana ni okey, kita ada lagi seorang pelajar, Encik Ahmad Syamiuddin, penyelia ialah Dr. Noranisa juga dan penilai ialah Dr. Rozi. Jadi saya persilakanlah ke finale. Sekejap ya. Saya kena share screen. Okay.
Yes, Assalamualaikum and very good morning, Dr. C, Dr. Vinta, and thanks. So for today, I would like to present my proposal entitled Feasibility Study on the Development of Psychosocial and Scientific Cancer Patient Care Module for Therapy Radiography in Malaysia. So my name is Ahmad Syamiuddin. So my supervisor is Dr. Noranisa. So today, I would like to discuss about the go through the introduction, objective, research question, hypothesis, and also the methodology of my research. So,
statistik apa Ida? Oh, ada dalam statistik. Okay.
So, psychosocial and scientific care module for therapy radiography. Why therapy radiography? So, from previous study, study shows that patient and family they more tend to come to the therapy radiographer because they feel comfort to share and they think that radiographer are more understanding and help them in a meaningful way. This study is by Garson et al. And study shows that therapy radiographer who has a training in communication skill and emotional well-being could enhance the patient experience throughout the treatment course. So introduction, what is psychosocial and supportive care? Psychosocial is a pretending on the influence of the social factor on individual mind and behavior and to the interrelation behavior and the social factor. So what is supportive care? Supportive care is the prevention of the management and the advice effect of the cancer and its treatment. This is by NPSC. So that's the role of the therapy radiographer to replace the psychiatrists and psychologists, or they are there to enhance the flow for the cancer patient management. So back to the introduction for the psychiatrist. Who is the psychiatrist? Psychiatrist is a medical practitioner specialized on the diagnosis of the segment of the mental illness, while the psychologist is an expert of specially in psychology. So this is the research objective. Generally, we want to develop the psychosocial and supportive cancer patient care model for therapeutic in Indonesia. This specifically to identify the reliability of the psychocare module and also to evaluate the validity for the training module for therapeutic. My research question is, does the content of the psychosocial and supportive cancer care module for therapeutic as adequate and suitable for cancer patient management? The hypothesis now is the psychosocial and supportive cancer care module for therapeutic does not impact the cancer patient management. So the methodology for this is a quantitative study. They have two phases, which is phase 1 and phase 2. For phase 1 is the module structure and content. At the first, at the beginning of the first phase, is we will identify the features for the module, and then we will go for literature review. And for this state, that we will discuss among the expertise such as oncologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapeutic and therapeutic. Then after that, the modification will be done to comply the Malaysian ethnicity, religion belief, and also culture to avoid any racial sensitivity. So for phase 2 is for content validation and by target group. There will be a focus group of therapy radiographer. They will review the module and give the feedback. So after we receive the feedback, we will do an improvement for the module to be more comprehensive. So research location, we have choose PPUKM, HKL, PPUM, HUSM, Clinical Penang, and also Mount William Cancer Hospital. So why we choose this is to, we hope that one day after the module is completed, this hospital can be the referring hospital, not for only for government hospital. We also have a private hospital as a research for the reference hospital. Clinical clinic. So the exclusion and inclusion criteria for phase 1, the module must be for cancer patient and less than 10 years, not more than 10 years publication. Less than 10 years.
Less than 10 years of
publication. So module
publication.
Publication. Untuk modul tu dia buat tak lebih daripada 10 tahun. So for phase 2, the therapy radiographer must have experience more than 3 years, and also involved in the patient education program in their own hospital. So for exclusion criteria for phase 2, the therapy radiographer that have psychological illness and also patient, also the therapy radiographer that refuse to be in this research. This is for inclusion and also the exclusion. So for sample size calculation, this is for phase 2. The margin error is 5%, confidence level 95%, response distribution is 50%. So the population is 27. Therapy radiographer has in January 2020. So the recommended sample size is 26. By result. Okay. So for ethics, for UKM, we will apply for UKM ethics committee, Clinical Penang Memoriam. There is no ethics committee, so we will do the clearance from the CEO. For HKL, we need to go to the Institute of Clinical Research to NMRR, PPUM, they have their own research committee, which is Medical Research Ethics Committee, and also HSM has their Human Research Ethics Committee for USM. So we need to apply all the ethics for each. So for phase 1, this is for the method analysis. For phase 1, we will do the content analysis, and for phase 2, we will do focus group discussion using the CODTIS. So this is my Gantt chart, research timeline. So now reference and
You pun tak masuk ke research flow. Alright, congratulations Syami for your presentation. First of all, PSOSC versus PSOC, ada different. Ya, boleh. Betul. Ni stop. Tajuk awal PSOSC. So, supportive care, right? Okay. Most of the, because when I look at other papers, some of them using the term of PSOC, some papers using the terms of PSOSC. Because this is your main gist kan dalam kamu punya ni kan, ni yang kamu nak pegang saya kan. No, I mean you have to clear about that. Is there any difference between these two?
Tadi tak banyak difference lah.
Tak banyak difference ke benda yang sama?
More or less the same sebenarnya.
More or less the same. Mana satu ni? Sebab tajuk kamu bukan PSOC kan?
Okay.
Kita memang cakap pisau. Tapi kamu punya tajuk yang kamu punya adalah PSOSC. So I just want to know these tools ada the same ke yang berlainan ke atau benda yang sama je tapi panggilan je lain. Ada satu supportive care, ada satu care saja.
Yeah.
Because when I go through some papers, other papers, memang some papers mention about PSOC, some papers PSOSC. So do you know this? Ni you guna pisau. Tapi tajuk kamu ada S. Ada satu tak guna?
Pisau yang ada S.
Yang ada S. So ni you tak ada S. So my query comes with your title actually. Whether you want to put inside the supportive care or just a care on. So and is there any difference between these two? Is it just like because of low and K, for example? Have you found try to look at that? No, you pun tak sure.
Tak sure sebab dia banyak. Tapi bila saya tengok balik, dia more or less the same.
More or less the same. So apa yang supportive care tak ada dalam care saja?
Ni bukan more or less the same, dia memang sama.
Kamu cakap tadi more or less the same. Mana satu ni tajuk tu. Very important that S want to include S or not. Okay. Look at the title dulu. So sebelum ni tajuk awal lain kan?
Dia tak sama je.
Oh, ada perkataan visibility.
Oh ni atas.
Oh, ada kecil. Okay. Bila ada perkataan visibility on the study, I don't know. Kenapa? I rasa bila visibility dia jadi macam downgrade sikit. Kenapa kamu tak teruskan the development of resource choreography images strong enough? Bila kamu masuk visibility dia dah visibility study je, you master tau. So bila you ada perkataan visibility tu, I rasa benda tu dah downgrade you punya tajuk. Okay, bila cakap pasal visibility, before we go to visibility, do you have this reality dan juga validity?
Ada tapi dibuat oleh
student lain.
lain.
Tapi benda tu, okay, tengok awak punya objektif dulu. Awak cakap to identify the reality of your pisau. Then the validity. So kalau dua-dua ni dah buat, awak nak buat apa? Bagaimana visibility ni?
tajuk awak feasibility. Lepas tu awak cakap student undergrad dah buatkan reality dengan validity. Dan dua-dua tu orang dah buat. Awak nak buat apa?
Saya akan review balik dengan suruh kerja.
So macam
Dari satu sebab tu buat baik kita buat reliability.
apa beza reliability dengan validity?
Jadi kita confirm kerja. Reliable itu dia boleh digunakan ke tak? Validity tu kita nak cakap benda tu.
Digunakan tu maksudnya apa? Itu dah feasibility je bunyi dia. Apa yang boleh digunakan?
Dia punya content.
Okey, soalan itu
Boleh digunakan. Reliable tak dengan
cakap validity ke reliability?
reliable.
Kita start rely. Okey, rely maksudnya
Maksudnya dia saya fikir jap.
okey.
Okey, faham.
Okey. Right, kita mula dengan validity.
Validity maksudnya konten tu dia valid tak pakai, maksudnya dia boleh digunakan ke tak. Nilai ni maksudnya dia boleh diharapkan dia boleh di-realize tak dengan tajuk tu.
Salah je. Alright, first of all, tajuk kamu feasibility. Bila ada feasibility, mesti ada validity, reliability, baru masuk feasibility lah. Baru masuk. Kamu tak boleh terus pergi jumpa patient, kamu tak boleh terus tanya ataupun jumpa artis terus tanya soalan without having validity and validity. Validity, contohnya soalan satu, kamu nak tengok soalan tu dapat tak jawab soalan kamu, apa yang kamu nak measure. Contohnya sakit ke tidak. So soalan kamu mestilah berapa score pain or something like that. Okay, tak adalah kamu tanya awak dah makan ke belum. Alright, so maksudnya soalan tu valid untuk ukur apa yang kamu nak tahu. Itu student dah buat?
Dah.
Okay, walaupun student dah buat, benda tu kena dalam thesis kamu nanti. Yang development ni dah dibuat validity. So kamu dah tahu lah apa itu validity. Tak adalah kamu tahu feasibility je. Okay, apa maksud reliable? So katakan semua patient cakap, ya sakit. Kedua ketiga patient, maksudnya kamu punya pattern tu adalah konsisten. Konsistensi benda tu lah. Tak adalah kadang-kadang dia pesakit tapi sebenarnya dia jawab tak sakit. Maksudnya soalan kamu salah lah. Soalan kamu tu tak reliable. Okay, Aziz sekejap kata sebab ni kita nampak trend semua orang yang patutnya dah stage 4 akan rasa sakit. For example. So sustain maksudnya dia nampak trend dia tu ada. So it's about reality. Then kamu masuk kepada feasibility tapi tak ada dalam tajuk orang objektif. Kan? Dia tak boleh
Psychosocial lah. Ada yang punya own title. Kita ni ada psychosocial as a particular survey apa-apa model among value grapher Indonesia. Sebab dia dah
I rasa isu dia develop. Siapa yang develop?
Benda tak develop lagi, dia tengok yang masuk. Yang tu maksudnya yang undergrad buat dia yang apa systematic review on the development tu. So saya akan sambung untuk buat pula modul.
Tak buat lagi lah
tak buat. Okey.
Maksudnya student sebelum ni dia buat systematic review on apa yang benda-benda nak kena masukkan dalam modul kamu ni.
Betul.
Okay. So nanti kamu akan finalizekan the modul. Dan you kena repeat balik validity, reliability and feasibility. Sekarang cakap orang dah buat. Kalau dah objektif 1 dan 2 yang dah buat, kamu tak buat apa? Right. Sorry, next. Okay, one thing about presentation kita juga cakap. Presentation cantik tapi saya ni dah lara pun. Tak nampak sangat. So, it should be scientifically acceptable lah. You can go for fancy one, tapi it must be nampak professionalized. Too small for me. Even tajuk kamu feasibility dia mesti tak nampak. Saya nampak development je. So, saya comparekan dengan tajuk kamu. Alright.
Atau bisnes dia tak sure sebab dah dia punya tajuk, dia punya tadi macam dia develop kan. Sepatutnya dia punya hypothesis tu, the module has the high validity, high reliability and feasible to to be used in the as a cancer patient management. Kena ada benda tu jugalah sebab you bukan saja buat benda ni, dia develop juga kan. So hypothesis untuk validity, reliability mesti kena masukkan sebab it's measurable, dia boleh measure.
Because the sense is so awkward kan?
Dia macam
yes or no? Next. Okay, phase 1, maksudnya phase 1 tu dia nak cakap pasal development kan? Second one tu dia nak pergi test. Kan? So the development tu saya rasa macam phase 1 tu tak cukup sebab tak cukup lah ada validity dengan reliability of the ni. Sebab this is the development part.
Dia punya the main one develop tu. Salah develop habis dia punya.
Katakan second step tu dah ada orang buat kan literature review. 1 dan 2 dah ada orang buat kan. Student ni dah buat. Itu the verification. Sampai ada tak? Sebab saya juga pemeriksa untuk undergrad result ni. Just so that you know. Saya dah baca paper
undergrad tu, yang literature review ni more tu macam saya nak ambil modul-modul yang dah ada, lepas tu kita discuss among the expertise, tengok dia punya kriteria yang nak dimasukkan.
Tapi saya rasa proses tu kan jadi lama sebab you akan kena buat balik sekarang sekali dengan panel to make sure content tu bagus lah. Saya tak sure lah macam mana punya program akan buat. Tapi kalau macam ni, kita dah ada literature review, tapi kalau you kumpulkan semua yang luar overseas punya modul ke, you nak ambil kan. So, jadi kita akan begitu siap-siap sebelum you buat sepatutnya, you perlu buat focus group discussion lepas tu. So, maknanya benda tu dah ready, orang akan komen, panel akan komen. Tapi kalau you nak buat dan you nak discuss, you nak kumpul-kumpulkan, nak discuss dengan panel pun boleh, tapi saya rasa dia akan ambil masa yang tak lama. Lepas tu siap bergaduh lagi dalam tu. Sebab yang tu kata A, yang tu kata B, yang tu kata C, yang tu kata D, yang tu kata tak penting, yang tu kata penting. Dan sekali you nak elak seperti mana. So, better you masukkan based on literature review ataupun you buat semi-structured interview dengan beberapa you punya responden, which component yang dia rasa penting nak masukkan yang dalam harian ini. Macam itulah ada kita. So, you masukkan, you siapkan, ready, then you discuss dengan fokus group discussion. Lepas tu you boleh bagi dan you buat content validation index. Maknanya you bagi CBI untuk dia orang grade kan. So you ada validation index. Okay, yang pengalaman saya tak sure program macam mana.
I think the same issue sama dengan India. So when you talk about development, there's process. That you have to, it's not simple process, delivery and modification. No, that's not. That is banyak lagi. And then you can, are you going to choose English only like sebelum ni? So kalau English je, kenapa English saja? So you nak buat BM, ada lagi translation punya proses. So in order to come, baru kamu boleh pergi phase 2 di mana kamu nak implement dia, pre-implement, belum implement betul-betul lagi. So kamu nak test the feasibility dulu. sebelum kamu nak kata nak pergi betul-betul enforce kata ni, you kena test dulu the tools. Feasible or not? Itu group lain tau. And then baru you pergi betul-betul nak check sama ada fail on fail tu, kemudian lagi practicality tu lain. Di feasibility ni kamu select small group to check feasible ke tak.
Dia rasa feasibility ataupun mungkin qualitative interview dia nak sure yang modul tu boleh run. Kalau modul tu patient faham nak buat apa. Bukannya dia dapat modul, lepas tu dia katakan dia tak tahu apa-apa, dia tak faham langsung. So benda tu nak make sure dia feasible lah untuk dilaksanakan. Once dia dah habis step tu barulah dia buat dalam population lagi ramai. So benda step tu sangat penting. Masters memang step tu yang step paling penting. Education dengan reliability.
Then masuk phase 2. So you terus cakap fokus group kamu adalah the radiographers, therapy radiographers, and look at the improvement, make the module more efficient.
So you dalam proses develop kan, develop maknanya you ada education dulu, you ada modul, you buat focus group, then you buat content validation, you buat reliability, then baru you masuk dalam
Untuk application kalau you nak kira betul-betul okay. Kalau dia kata development sampai feasibility
okey lah dah.
buat feasibility je. Maksudnya so develop dulu baru nak pergi implement. Kalau you nak buat phase macam tu. Tapi sebenarnya phase 1 kamu yang paling berat. Sebab kamu itu semua develop lah sebenarnya. Kamu takkan pergi ke betul-betul ambil
ramai-ramai
feel tak. Kamu masih ada skop-skop feasibility lagi. So I think you should be think how to do this phase. Sama ada kamu abaikan phase 2, kamu fokus pada phase 1 tapi kamu buat phase based on the development. So review is phase 1. Second ialah katakan validity and things like that. So di sini kamu boleh cakap validation tak? Tak nampak saya visibility sampai hujung saya tak nampak visibility.
Cuma dia kan, sebab dia test tu dia fokus group kan. So dia nak buat fokus group discussion. So cadangan saya is not only you involve the therapy radiographer lah, you punya involve juga kalau you dia ni untuk siapa? Mungkin masukkan doctors yang involve sama to get their opinions. So maknanya tak adalah radiographer shot sendiri. Tak. So ada juga yang lain. Dia tim lah, tim dia. Bukannya radiografer nanti kan shot sendiri, tiba-tiba doktor kata apa benda ni? Kita tak sesuai je, yang dia tak cukup, yang dia tak cukup. Itu masukkan apa?
Next. Research location, saya ada argument on the private and ni lah. As you know that the patient care or supportive or psychological support care, they are different. So how we are going to differentiate? Sebab tahulah, government tak sempat nak bagi care, nak bagi psikologi, nak bagi semua everything. Tapi while for gleaners, mami reader, they have a plenty of time to talk with you, tanya, sihat and everything. Hati kita dekat kawan nak tanya makan ke tak sempat. So how are you going to make it better? How are you going to the workload the radiographers dekat sana dengan kat sisi lain. So do you think macam katakan semua kat ni tak suka soalan ni tak payah, soalan ni tak payah, kita tak nak nanti satu soalan ni. Katakan yang tu, tak apa 20 soalan, 40 soalan pun tak apa. So they are happy. Workload different. The environment is different. Kita tahu kan masuk Mount Miriam macam mana? Masuk macam tu kan. Dari UKM masuk kapak dulu, baru kamu jumpa cepat berkedar dan everything. These are the things yang you ask, this is additional benda yang sebelum ni tak ada. Kamu nak suruh radiographers buat, dia akan macam inflight dia punya feeling jugalah. I'm not sure the research location whether you want to need focus dekat ni saja ke ataupun because environment of course ni, support of course different, the support from management also different. Because kalau satu hari you treat patient 30 berbeza dengan you treat satu hari 90 orang patients. So
actually di sana buat ke?
Sebab nak jumpa dengan terapi radiografer tu.
Saya tak sure tapi kalau you buat focus group discussion, invite dia datang sini lah. Discuss sama-sama. Ataupun online. Online tu bukan ni. Kalau pergi sana dah macam group by group.
I think ni nak buat visibility ke ni nak buat discussion tu?
Ni tu visibility tu.
Visibility dah lepas semua tu.
Bagi modul tu kan. Ada artikel dekat. Satu lagi isu sebab isu baru dibangkitkan oleh ethics di UKM ke sebab isu master yang terletak di private. Insurans untuk research siapa yang cover. Okay. Kalau ada tak puas hati. Misalnya kalau patient kat private kata kalau patient tu tak puas hati dia nak suruh siapa yang akan bayar. Adakah private hospital tu ataupun UKM. So benda tu kena clarify sebab UKM akan tanya siapa yang akan akan bertanggungjawab untuk insurans, untuk research. Sebab dia pun baru dibangkitkan. Orang pun kerja dia tak okey. Sebab dia tak cover macam tu lah. So kalau kita pantai per annum 2,000. Insurance, research. So duit lagi.
So the sampel, saya tak nampak dah sampel tu, saya boleh komen lagi pasal sampel, I think sama dengan yang Melia lah, kita perlu look at your sampel lah, why you choose this hospital, while macam for example PPUM dengan HSM, diorang dah buat episode ni kan, diorang dah buat psychological.
Tapi yang tu untuk psychosocial.
Yelah, tapi diorang dah ada approach tu. HKL tak ada, HKM tak ada kan. So this kind of thing, bila you banyak lagi ni, kita ada banyak variation lagi, dia think about it juga lah. Next. Inclusion, exclusion. So inclusion phase 1 tu maksudnya saya tahu kamu punya student review 48 modul. Betul? 48 modul, so kamu hanya akan pilih modul yang melibatkan cancer patient saja.
Ya.
Palliative, radical.
Dulu.
Sure.
Sure.
So student semalam tak ada boleh jawab. Radical tadi. So dia kata dia tak tahu mana satu yang radical. Okay. So 10 years is the treatment.
Tak 10 years tu untuk contoh modul tu
establish. Maksudnya you cakap dah 2010 and above. Masa belum tentu.
Ya.
Tak payahlah 10 years. Then model 10 years, umur patient ke? Dia cakap modules that established 2010 and above. Betul. Tapi student kamu, the literature review up to 2003. Why you choose 10 years? Aku tulis 10 tahun.
Saya rasa yang 10 tahun ni dia macam more up to date lah.
Dia dah ada strong reason, dia cakap pasal inclusion 10 tahun kenapa, that's the most stable ataupun ada satu event yang event 10 ke. It's not like simply okay saya rasa ni saya bila 10 tahun, kalau saya cakap 12 tahun sebab modul saya keluar 2008, saya nak modul saya masuk. So how you differentiate 10 years dengan 12 years? So kena justification kenapa 10 tahun. Okay. Phase 2, more than 3 years?
Experience. Terapi juga apa tu.
Okay. More than 3 years?
Yes.
Involved with PSOC. Maksudnya?
Maksudnya radiografer tu dia pernah involved dengan PSOC. Maksudnya dia bagi patient care dekat patient.
HUKM ada?
HUKM tak ada.
HUKM tak ada? Itu macam mana you nak masukkan tu? Dan terus exclude lah.
Nanti saya review balik ni.
Okay, bila you tengok exclusion criteria, psychological illness, radioterapi with psychological illness, kamu exclude. Macam mana kamu nak define orang tu ada psychological illness? Stress, kamu masukkan psychological illness ke tak? Ada doktor kat belakang kamu. Siap garotan. Stress kamu masuk tak psychological illness?
Nanti saya replace saya.
So when you talk about psychological illness,
kamu kena define lah ni ada activities with psychological illness, how you define. Orang tu tak boleh jawab sebab dia ada psychological illness. Okay. Alright. Next. Okay, this is you need to look again lah sample calculator sebab you need to know that calculation ni more into your feasibility studies nanti. You nak buat validity semua dia kena ada sampel calculator. Sebab kalau nak buat group, siapa group yang kamu pilih? Benda tu kena ada sampel calculation balik. And you cakap radiographer di GMC, MMH, STPM ni apa yang ada? Kamu ada 7 locations, kamu kira 3 lah Acik.
Betulkan balik sebab
Kenapa you consider 3 ni je? Terus jadi 26 sample size. Location ada 7.
Betul.
Okay. Ethics dan surveillance. Next. I think kerja kot, tapi feasibility study tu the methods sama dengan Emilia lah. I think tools and methods kamu aku dah strong lagi. Population kena tahu siapa tu yang kamu masuk. Selalu banyak variations. Private, government, ada hospital yang buat result, ada yang hospital tak ada buat result. So this kind probably akan ada variability lah. You just imagine dia dalam group tu semua bergaduh padahal dia tak buat result. Sebab orang ni buat result dia tahu. So macam this kind of variations akan jadi dark nanti kita kamu nak buat conclusion. Objektif kamu have to go today. You go for face by face. You find the case awak. Objektif you should be answering apa you nak buat. All the best, Syami.
Mungkin nak tanya soalan. Alright, thank you. Siapa lagi ni? Okay, sekejap. Sesi kita dah habis. Saya harap semua pensyarah dah register sebab saya dah bagi tadi. Okay. Untuk pelajar, okay, sebentar. Untuk pelajar boleh scan ni. Nampak ke? Pelajar boleh scan. Okey. Terima kasih kepada Dr. Rozi, Dr. Siti dan juga pelajar yang ada kat sini dan juga terus duduk sebelah. Okey. Alright, so kita dah habis hari ni. Nanti kita akan present for breakout. No, satu tip lah. Okay, pula kepada 5 orang.
Kita nak mengajar fakulti ni lagi berat tu. Lagi yang besar-besar mahal hebat semua. Saya kecil-kecilan je.
Kecilan pun soalan dia rasa macam nak nangis je lah.
Dr. Linda dah habis ya?
Dah habis dah.
Saya stop record
Terima kasih.